Jonas Eriksson from Sweden leads his Swedish officials out onto the pitch, followed by the teams, the captains, and a massive ticker tape display of red and yellow on the far side away to our right, and the mosaic that now we are very, very familiar with. It says Kings of the Cup in English away to our right. Absolutely tremendous. Now Chelsea fans will love me reminding everybody that was the end when Chelsea won here, where it said in German, our city, our club, our cup. Well, it wasn't to be. That was the end that Didier Drogba scored. So Chelsea fans listening to that will like me to remind them of that. It says Kings of the Cup in English, and they are very much that, Bayern Munich. But Manchester United with an opportunity during such a difficult season for them to really grasp onto something tangible, upset the holders and join Chelsea in the semi-finals after Chelsea's thrilling win last night against Paris Saint-Germain at Stamford Bridge. So give us a call later. Chris will be still with us. 0500 909 693. The text number is 85058 at BBC 5 Live on social media. There's the music, which means one thing as the young mascots are ushered off the pitch by a very willing assistant. Chris Waddle and Conor McNamara with all the action.
Bayern Munich looking to retain the Champions League, something that no team has done before, and Manchester United wanting to summon the spirit of that famous 1999 final and beat their old foes again. I'm looking at the subs bench and I'm wondering if Javier Hernandez might be a modern-day Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming off the bench to claim the glory. There could be twists and turns. There could be extra time tonight. It might even need penalties, an English side against a German side. But one way or the other, we find out this evening who is going through to the semi-final of the Champions League. We'll keep you up to date with this evening's other game as well. Atletico Madrid against Barcelona. 1-1 also in that one from the first leg. What we know, Chris Waddle, is Manchester United must score.
Yeah, but they haven't got to do it in the first. It'd be great if they can get it in the first 10 minutes, but if it takes up to 89 minutes, 90 minutes, listen, he's got to keep the shape of the side well. They've got to work hard. They've got to look after the ball better than they did in the first game, and they've got to try and cut the service out, dominate that midfield three, get in possession, and don't get the service out to Ribery and Robin as much as they want the ball, and you've got a chance.
The two captains have just shaken hands with Jonas Eriksson, the Swedish referee. He was the official criticised by Manuel Pellegrini after his handling of Manchester City's 2-0 defeat to Barcelona. Pellegrini, you might remember, said on the night he thought the referee was not impartial, and he also suggested that a Swedish official should not be taking charge of such a high-profile fixture. Well, I think that one's been answered, and Jonas Eriksson involved in an even higher profile game now here tonight in this amazing Allianz Arena, which is not full to capacity. They have had to, under instruction from UEFA, leave a section of seating empty, and that's because of the homophobic banner that was held aloft during the game against Arsenal here. So the punishment for that is that a certain section of seats, mind you, not a huge section of seats, but a few hundred seats opposite us, they put it in a high-profile location. It'll be spotted by the TV cameras, but that's the reason that those seats are empty. As we walked up to the ground, Chris, so many guys trying to sell us tickets, asking if anyone was buying or selling a ticket. Obviously, demand is enormous for this game as we get underway in Munich, and they roll possession back to Dante, the Brazilian centre-half with a big shock of black hair, and he sends it long into the Manchester United half. Manchester United wearing their change strip of dark blue with black trim, playing from left to right as we look down, and Bayern Munich, who are dressed all in red, their traditional home strip, as Phil Jones has to crane his neck to win a header just short of the halfway line. Manchester United get it out to Valencia, tackled hard by Ribery, and the ball goes out of play for a throw into Manchester United.
Well, already you can see the tempo Bayern Munich have set straight from the kick-off. Look at them, red shirts everywhere. And this is what Manchester United have struggled with this season when I've watched them play. They're so slow at the blocks. They've got to really match them for 20 minutes and really try and look after this ball, but go and close it down.
Here comes Robin, a real danger man, weaving in off the right wing. He's still going, he's run 40 yards here into the penalty area. Ribery now crosses, poor ball too high for Mandzukic, and the ball goes out of play on the far side. Well, Ian Robin has got a fantastic record against Manchester United, particularly back in his Chelsea days. Played against Manchester United 4 times, was unbeaten in all 4 of those games, scored against Manchester United in the Champions League League 4 years ago for Bayern Munich, and he was given the freedom of half the pitch there to go from halfway line to penalty area.
Well, you can't. We know he's got pace. He didn't have to do a trick, did he? There was nobody got near him. He went right across. It was a poor ball by Ribby at the finish. But again, a free kick now, 40 yards out. I'm surprised Kagawa started left-hand side, and Danny Welbeck's sort of playing with Wayne Rooney in a way. He's just playing off him, and I'm surprised. Kagawa for me should have been playing behind Wayne Rooney, or even behind Danny Welbeck, because that's where he can get on the ball.
It's 0-0 on 5 Live, the Champions League quarter-final second leg. 0-0 on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. And how important will that away goal be for Bayern Munich? Full rundown of the teams then. Manuel Neuer is the goalkeeper for Bayern Munich. Back four of Lam, Boateng, Dante and Alaba. In midfield, Muller, Kroos and Götze, with Ribery on the left, Robben on the right, Mandzukic through the centre. Here is Ribery on the ball, left-hand side, in the injection of pace, but Phil Jones stays with him and puts it out for a corner. De Gea is the Manchester United goalkeeper. Jones, Smalling, Vidic and Evra the back four. In midfield, Carrick, Kagawa and Fletcher. Valencia wide right, Welbeck wide left, and Wayne Rooney through the centre.
Well, there's a corner here. Robben's coming across Tate. He's getting far too much pace here, Robben, so far. Getting the ball at Ribery far too easy.
So here he comes, Bayern Munich's number 10. Left-footed cross from the Dutchman and headed away by Patrice Evra on the edge of the 6-yard box. Collected by Tony Kroos, a player that David Moyes wanted to sign for Manchester United, and Bayern Munich have been forced back into their own half, and it's the Austrian David Alaba, and now he rolls it infield to the captain Philipp Lahm, coming up into a midfield position, though he has started at right back tonight. He's been a midfielder most this season for Bayern Munich. Bright green yellowy captain's armband on his right arm as they get it back to Lam again, just outside the penalty area, right-hand side. And now Robben has got a bit of space, sets himself up, good delivery into the centre. Thomas Muller rising in the air with Chris Smalling, and the ball ricochets out, and the officials say it will be a goal kick, and Muller stays down on the ground, and the referee comes over to see if he needs treatment.
Well, Smalling's done very well there, because that was a certain goal, wasn't it? Again, but I've got to say, Conor, Manchester United started so slow. Robben's getting the time on the ball, as we've saw every Bayern Munich player so far. I know we've only been playing 3.5 minutes, but they're showing them far too much respect. They've come out the blocks quick. You've got to match them, and they haven't. They're stopping up, they're dropping off, and you can't allow these good players space and time what they're getting so far.
By their own, and admittedly incredibly high standards, Bayern Munich have not had a great last fortnight since they wrapped up the title. They've played 3 games, they haven't won any of them. Dante does well here against Welbeck inside the Munich half and finds some space for Lam on the right-hand side. 5 times in the past, Manchester United have played a second leg knockout game in Europe, having drawn 1-1 at home in the first leg. They've gone through 3 times in the past. They've gone out twice in this situation. And Munich, whenever they've drawn 1-1 in the first leg, they've gone through every time. This is Robben, midway inside the Manchester United half, just stands with the ball at his feet. Carrick afraid to lunge in. Kagawa now stretches out a boot and makes sure they have an interception, and the ball goes out for a throw into Bayern Munich, level with the corner angle of the penalty area on the right-hand side. Taken quickly, down for Kroos, who sends in an early ball. Mandzukic was after it, and it's Smalling again, most alert in the penalty area, and he takes no chances, the Manchester United defender. He puts it out for a corner, 0-0 on 5 Live.
Oh, that's a fantastic delivery from that right-hand side, but again, I've got to say, Conor, they're giving them far too much space. You know, in certain areas you've got to work players harder, and at the minute Manchester are not getting close enough.
So another corner, this time it's from the right-hand side. It's a very crowded penalty area. They're all between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. Muller gets a shot when it comes low, then Ribery, but he was off balance, and it's well wide of the target, 6 feet or so wide of the left-hand side. A scuffed effort from Ribery, but a low corner that was played in, and once again Thomas Muller was allowed to get to it first.
He was. You get to a training ground routine, isn't it? You can see what they do. They all clear the space. Muller arrives, doesn't get a good straight. There's a decent block on it, to be honest. It comes out and, as you say, Ribery just can't get the contact he wants. But it is all Bayern, and they're the ones who are dictating the pace of the game.
Bastian Schweinsteiger scored a brilliant goal at Old Trafford in the first leg. He is suspended tonight, so too Javi Martinez. They don't have Thiago. They don't have Xherdan Shaqiri, who picked up an injury at the weekend. And 1 or 2 teenagers who were brought in for experience on Saturday now find themselves on the bench tonight in this important game. More on that in a moment. Rooney's on the ball. Lots of booze for Wayne Rooney. Good cross from the left-hand side. Headed away by Dante. They feel that Rooney dived, or at least made a meal of the challenge for which the red card was shown to Schweinsteiger in the first leg, and the German supporters here letting Wayne Rooney know all about that. But if anything, that's going to make Wayne Rooney play better, isn't it, Chris? Did you hear that?
Listen, he gets it nearly every ground he plays at, doesn't he? He's used to it. So I don't think Wayne Rooney will be that bothered what the Bayern Munich fans are saying.
Wayne Rooney, who's playing with painkillers tonight after picking up an injury against Bayern in the first leg. Might have chipped a bone in his foot, they reckon, but he's had the injection and he's on the field. Scored against Bayern here 4 years ago in the Champions League. Scored very early. I think it was only after 1 minute that Wayne Rooney scored that night. Here is Robben, who scored in that game as well, on the ball on the far side. Chips it in. Götze tried to allow it, pass it, body. And again, Robben so alert. He gets the ball when Carrick really should have done. Muller now just outside the penalty area. Götze to Robben, to Alaba. Dummied a left-footed shot, but then lays it up short to Ribery, and here comes the right-footed cross into the centre, which is headed away by Phil Jones. Atletico 1, Barcelona 0. So Atletico Madrid go 2-1 up on aggregate, and Koke is the man who has scored the goal in that game elsewhere tonight in the Champions League. Long ball played forward by Darren Fletcher. Rooney controls on the edge of the penalty area. He's in here, Wayne Rooney, back onto his right boot. Why didn't he hit it with his left? Jerome Boateng comes across and makes the interception, and eventually Wayne Rooney is penalised for a foul in the penalty area. It opened up for a left-footed shot. He had a clean-sided goal, and Wayne Rooney took an extra few seconds to get it onto his right.
Well, this is the problem, isn't it? He's beat the offside trap. He's done ever so well to control it, get the space onto his left. He's 10, 12 yards out. Just hit it with your left. He's got to get it back onto her right foot, which has cost them the opportunity of probably taking the lead for Manchester United.
So Wayne Rooney, I wonder, was he worried about his injured foot there, that he didn't want to hit it with his injured foot? Chris is shaking his head. But it was an opportunity, and it's the best that Manchester United have had in the game so far. We have played 8 minutes on 5 live, 1-1 on aggregate, 0-0 on the night. If it ends like this, Bayern Munich go through courtesy of their away goal. At the moment, Atletico Madrid will be knocking Barcelona out tonight if it stays 2-1 on aggregate in that game. Mandzukic with a chest down on the halfway line, collected by Alaba. He'll come over the halfway line now. Ribery calling for it. Jones comes in, but he's standoffish, allowing the Frenchman run at him. Now Jones makes the challenge, and it's good shepherding, and he ensures it goes out just for a goal kick. It was all about muscle there from Jones. He allowed Ribery play the ball, and then he didn't allow him chase after it.
Well, the trouble is he's getting ball one-on-one with Jones, and there's going to be a time where he is good enough and clever enough to get round Jones. At the minute, he's just trying to get out his feet, use his pace. He'll say that now, Ribery, and he'll think I'm going to have to go inside a little bit more, because he has been isolated, Jones. He needs bodies round him. He needs people talking to him to say, get him inside where the bodies are, because Ribery will eventually get round him.
Bayern Munich, who won the Bundesliga in March, a record in all the major European leagues, not just Germany. No one's ever won the league in March in Italy, England, Spain or France. As Ribery here chases out to try to get the ball before it goes out of play, but it will be a throw-in for Manchester United. Phil Jones comes across to take. Still 0-0. Pep Guardiola out on the edge of his technical area. Very stylish coat and smart suit and shiny dark shoes as he watched Toni Kroos collect possession inside the Bayern Munich half and go backwards to the former Manchester City player Jerome Boateng, who only ever played against United in one Manchester derby during his time at City. It was a 0-0 game in 2010. Here is Mandzukic now, back to the halfway line, and Dante, being put under pressure by Danny Welbeck, turns and gives the ball back to Neuer, and that's the sort of pressure David Moyes will want to see.
Well, I was higher up the field as well, and that's what you're looking at. Listen, you don't mind them having it very, very deep, but once they get to that centre circle, over the halfway line, you want to see these red shirts work a lot harder. They're just starting to pick the tempo up. Wayne Rooney, for me, glorious chance. You just hit it with your left foot. Just hit it. Doesn't matter if you miss. Just hit it. What a chance that was.
Manchester United have never won in Bavaria. Manchester City won here this season already. Arsenal drew here. Can Manchester United spoil it and knock the hosts out and spoil it for the German fans? Here in the penalty area is Götze, but he's got his back to goal, and Vidic keeping close tabs on him. Now Lamb on the edge, chips it in, looking for Mandzukic. Jones gets up well, wins the header, and Manchester United clear it away to Wayne Rooney, who's immediately dispossessed of the ball, and Philipp Lahm just came in like an executioner there, so thanks, I'll have that, and Bayern Munich regained possession. Here he comes, Lahm, midway inside the Manchester United half, veers away from Carrick, plays it to Robben on the right wing, onto his left boot. Here comes the cross, huge roar from Vidic, and he, with a diving header, clears it well outside the penalty area. Kagawa collects. Manchester United back inside their final third. Nice layoff from Rooney to Welbeck now, but look how hard Manchester United have to work here just to get up to the halfway line. Welbeck challenged by Mandzukic. Referee says that's unfair. Free kick Manchester United just inside the Bayern Munich half.
Well, that was good play. Evra, Kagawa and Welbeck, little triangle over the far side. They didn't panic, they didn't go long, they kept it short, they worked the ball, they switched the play, got themselves a free kick. And you want them to be, when they get the ball, enjoy it, make Bayern Munich chase. They are working very hard, Bayern Munich.
Kagawa playing deep in midfield, deeper than we expected, sending out a long, ambitious ball, which is controlled on the instep by Evra. Left-hand side, low cross into the centre. Boateng stretches, gets it out of the box. Fletcher knocks it back in, and then Welbeck isn't able to control. And Ribery then challenged by Valencia. Play on, says the referee. Fletcher's ball looking for Rooney, intercepted by Boateng, and Bayern Munich will now clear it away with Robben onto Kroos, and then a sloppy ball, and to Götze. And Bayern Munich haven't settled, maybe as well as they looked in the first 5 minutes.
Well, that's all down to Manchester United. They've raised the tempo, they're asking questions, they've got runners off the ball. I've got to say that that midfield don't like tracking. That you can go across the whole strikers in midfield. There's not one of them naturally tracked back. And as people make intelligent runs, which I've saw a couple of times, you will get in. These two centre-halves, you can expose them.
Manchester United have started okay here. They've had a chance for Wayne Rooney. They've defended well, particularly in the air with Smalling and Vidic. But let's see what Mandzukic can do now. On the deck, tackled by Evra, who wins the ball back for Manchester United midway inside his own half. And now Vidic will try to send it out to Valencia here on the near touchline. It was a tricky one for Valencia to control, and in fact Alaba does regain possession. So this now is Toni Kroos, challenge from behind from Welbeck. This time he's penalised. Did a similar tackle a moment ago, which referee Jonas Eriksson said was fair. But on this occasion, a free kick to Bayern Munich, and they take it quickly, and it's still 0-0 on 5 Live. 1-1 on aggregate for the tie. This is the quarter-final stage of the Champions League. Kroos on the ball again, 20 yards outside. Brilliant ball into the area. Robben will cross from the right, and good defending away from Vidic. Only straight back to Robben, though. Still in the box. Kagawa is afraid to challenge. Robben shoots one of those bending shots. He tried to creep inside the post, but it flashes across the face of goal and goes out wide, and it's still 0-0. Well,
that's what I said before the game. You can't allow Toni Kroos time on the ball. What a wonderful pass from Said Evra. Robben tries to cross it very early, and then again it comes back to him where he gets a little bit of space. I think it was always going well wide. Hey, I would have saw that. But again, you've got to stop these key players for Bayern Munich when they get the ball. For me, Robben is having far too much easy possession.
Manchester United looking to reach the Champions League semi-final for the first time since 2011. Bayern Munich hoping to get there for the third season in a row. And when Ian Robben gets the ball in the penalty area, Chris, you know what he wants to do. He wants to pull it onto his left boot, and he wants to curl it towards the far post. But even though you know what he's going to do, it's still very tricky to defend it.
Well, he moves the ball very quick. He's very quick, isn't he? You've got to say that. And he's quick feet. Yeah, and it's easy. You hear that all the time. You know what he's going to do, and people buy it. Because people do it very well, it's very hard not to buy it.
That's the voice of Chris Waddle, who played in a European Cup final with Marseille. Watching this game with us here at the Allianz Arena. Capacity of 70,000, just shy of that tonight. Here is Ribery on the left-hand side. Sends an early ball across the penalty area, picks out Robben. It was a brilliant pass, actually. Robben's into the box, does his usual routine, pulls it back onto his left boot, but the tackle comes in, and then Rooney can't keep it in play, so a throw into Munich on the far side.
Well, this time it was Michael Carrick who doubled up with Evra and stopped him. Ribery picked it up, good crossfield ball to Robben. As you say, you know what he's going to do. Carrick just read the situation well. But again, Bayern starting to dictate the pace of the game again. Man United's had a little spell of 5 minutes where they look dangerous. Now they've gone back and deeper, and they're letting Bayern time on the ball. Kroos
from the centre circle floats a pass out to Ribery. Didn't have to move to collect it. It just landed on his toes. And Alaba back into the centre circle now for Dante. Let's see what Lam can do. He's almost covering two positions, Philip Lam. He's playing right back, but whenever they have the ball, he slots into that central midfield role. Here comes Robben, across the edge of the penalty area. Again, Carrick gets a touch, only back to Robben, and the second shot is high and rising over the crossbar, but he was very nearly in there, Ian Robben, after Carrick wasn't firm enough with the interception.
Well, I've got to say, he's the man you've got to stop. Toni Kroos is getting a lot more space as well. Whoever's playing in that hole is Welbeck, but he's went further forward alongside Rooney. So Toni Kroos now is getting on the ball, and we know his passing ability is fantastic, and Robben's getting far too much time on the ball. They've got to say, to stop the service, or Evra's got to get tighter to Robben.
Yes, Ian Robben, who's so experienced at this level. This is his 77th game in the Champions League. He scored 21 goals in this competition over the years, some very important ones as well. And he has had the best chances so far for Bayern Munich in this game. But here comes Kagawa now for Manchester United. Rooney is wide on the left-hand side, running at Boateng. Boos and cheers for Rooney. Sends it across. Welbeck's offside. Puts the ball into the back of the net. David Moyes is celebrating, and only now he sees the linesman's flag is raised, and Manchester United's goal is disallowed. Welbeck's finish. Great pass from Rooney. Flag was raised.
Well, he's offside, you can see. Bayern do that well. When you come back inside, which Wayne Rooney does, they step up very quickly, and normally strikers are ball watching, and this time was Valencia came in at the far post, who was ball watching, didn't look along the lane. Yes, it was a good finish, but it was offside.
Well, that would have been a really, really important start for Manchester United, but it's not fallen in their favour. And Bayern Munich now coming forward. This is Mario Götze on the left-hand side to Frank Ribery. Götze goes in the overlap. Ribery doesn't need him. Again, he's looking for Robben. He's done that several times now. Passes it across the penalty area to Robben, who's in a wide position. Now Lam crosses for Mandzukic. Good header, one in the air by Smalling, who's earned his corn so far tonight. Chris Smalling, he's been involved in so many aerial battles. Here is Valencia wide on the right-hand side, running at Alaba. Ribery showing his defensive attributes to win the ball. Welbeck slides in on Lam. Lam is too strong, however, and Bayern Munich beginning to boss midfield. It's passed out low by Muller to the right-hand side. He was looking for Ian Robben. Good challenge from Patrice Evra, and that is a throw-in for Bayern Munich on the right-hand side.
Well, they just have the moments, Manchester United. They carry that threat, you can see that. When they've intercepted and broke it up and broke quickly, you know, they do look a threat. There's no doubt about that, but again, the possession stats will show Bayern Munich are totally in control of this game, and it's just going to be a silly mistake, which is going to cost Bayern, because at the minute, Robben, for me, and Cruz are just do what they want when they get the ball. There's nobody near them.
Here is Cruz, scored a very good goal against Arsenal at the Emirates earlier on in this competition. He's 15 yards outside the penalty area, gives it to the right-hand side. Götze is over there, but it breaks down, and Carrick now has a chance to send a long, searching ball. He's put it too far, has he, in front of Welbeck. It was a good chase by Danny Welbeck, and he forced Jerome Boateng to put it out for a throw. Throw into Manchester United inside the Bayern Munich half. 0-0 on the night, still 1-1 on aggregate.
Well, that was a good ball, and we know Welbeck has got a lot of pace, a lot of energy. Boateng just got there in time, and there's no rush here. Manchester United, Evra's just walking up the field, taking his time, trying to get a hold of this ball for 5 minutes, because it's been all Bayern Munich in possession.
Well, if they're just turning away, Manchester United had the ball in the back of the net, but it was disallowed for offside. And how that would have tilted things in Manchester United's favour had that gone in. Then we really would have had a few questions to ask Bayern Munich and to see how they would respond. Here is Jones, furthest advanced position he's been tonight. Valencia's asked way too much of him with the return pass, though. He was never going to get to that. Alaba's back there, and he clears it away, left-footed, up to the halfway line. Smalling, mini bear hug around Ribery. I think the referee was going to give a foul there, but Bayern Munich pick up the loose ball, so he waves play on. Muller against Smalling down in the corner. Smalling's done brilliantly to come away with possession. Now gives it down that right wing. Jones, snap tackled from behind by David Alaba, and a throw-in to Manchester United on the right-hand side.
Chris Smalling, good defending there, didn't dive in. Thomas Muller's got good pace as well. It was a good race. Smalling comes out with the ball, which is good. But you've got to give Bayern Munich credit. The way they close you down, they do not let you settle at all.
Lovely control on the chest by Götze. He's into the penalty area from the left. He's got Ribery with him. What a chance! Muller, but no! Patrice Evra charges across the 6-yard box and clears the ball away. You know, it wouldn't have counted anyway. The linesman's flag was raised on the far side. But once again, if it isn't Robben on the right, it's Ribery on the left, and Bayern Munich are getting into the penalty area time and time again.
Well, Götze this time, didn't he? Just drifts inside, and he rolls a little bit late to Ribery, who's just drifted offside. Muller trying to get the finish, but again, good defending. You've got to say, so far Manchester United's back four defended very well. They've basically stopped every tap on Robben, I've got to say, who's causing havoc. Evra's got to get closer there, but so far defensively you can't fault Man United. It's just, can they look after that ball, even though they're getting under a lot of pressure from Bayern Munich players.
Atletico Madrid still leading Barcelona 2-1 on aggregate in tonight's other Champions League quarter-final second leg here in Munich. It's Bayern 0, Manchester United 0 on the night, and on aggregate Bayern Munich still ahead thanks to that away goal, if you will. 1-1 on aggregate, the away goal in Bayern Munich's favour.
I've just heard the Atletico Madrid's hit the crossbar 3 times as well.
3 times, which will give an indication of the pressure Barcelona have been under. So are Pep Guardiola's old team going out tonight? Guardiola, who beat Manchester United twice in finals, of course, as Barcelona manager, now hoping to knock out Manchester United in his new role here in Germany. And Pep Guardiola, who has won the Champions League twice as a manager. He also won it as a player. But Liverpool's Bob Paisley, 77, 78, 81, the only coach to win the Champions League 3 times. Guardiola looking to match up with that. Is under pressure now. The goalkeeper Neuer gives it to Dante, and as all Brazilians do, he produces a little flick on the edge of his own penalty area, and Bayern Munich are able to clear the ball away. Great atmosphere from the Bayern fans behind the goal. They are jumping up and down in unison, and it just looks like ripples of water flowing across sort of thousands of fans, waving enormous flags in the air as well there, creating good noise inside this stadium tonight. This is Ribery on the ball for Bayern Munich. Left-hand side, once again, Valencia and Jones are happy for him to have the ball in the central third. They only get close when he attacks the penalty area. Here is Philipp Lahm through the middle again. It's remarkable how he's covering both positions tonight. This is Ribery in the penalty area, tries to sell a dummy to Jones. Lahm involved again. That's not a good pass though, and Valencia can intercept with a sliding clearance. Cruz will regain the ball, but he's now back at the halfway line.
Well, again, Bayern very patient, getting it through Cruz, getting it Wade, either Robin or Ribery. That's the game plan, and I've got to say Jones has handled Ribery very well. But Robin, for me, still causes the biggest problem.
Here he is on the ball, Ian Robin. Passes in field to Cruz, who against has got a lot of space. Rooney tries to sprint to close it down, but Cruz finds Ribery here on the near touchline. Rolls it back for Alaba. Low ball into the box, helped on by Götze, but all it does is run into the arms of the goalkeeper, David De Gea. I'm fascinated with the system Bayern Munich are playing, Chris. Boateng slots over to Mark Welbeck whenever they have the ball, and Philipp Lahm goes into midfield, and then if they lose it, Lahm has got to sprint and get back into the back 4.
Very mobile, they're just interchanging. Yeah, he's trying to think, because he wants Thomas Muller up front, really.
Yes.
You know, he's not a midfield player, and they know he's limited on his passing range, and they want him up front where he can be in the box for the crosses coming in.
But effectively, they're playing with 3 defenders most of the time, Bayern Munich. Here is Ribery into the penalty area, left-hand side. Phil Jones is close to him. Alaba shoots. It was always rising. The ball lifted a bit just as he swung his boot at it, and he was underneath it, the Austrian, who has got 2 goals in the Champions League this season, and that goes high up over the crossbar. If this does go to penalties later on, David Alaba has missed 2 penalties this season, which could be worth remembering. One of them was against Arsenal. I remember being there that night at the Emirates. So David Moyes comes out to the edge of the technical area, hands in his pockets. Not a particularly cold night, there's just a little chill in the air. Doesn't have an overcoat on. And he watches Bayern Munich passing it crisply on the halfway line. 0-0 on the night. Mandzukic into Muller, lays it off for Alaba, across to Lahm. Their passing is glorious to watch at times, Bayern. And now they've got Robin on the ball, attacking the edge of the penalty area, right-hand side. Kagawa tries to get close to him, snapping at his heels. Robin looks up, gets it back from Lahm, gives it to his captain once again. Crossing position on the right-hand side. Lahm gives it in low. Muller back out of the penalty area to Robin. There's always an extra man. This time it's Ribery on the right-hand side. Robin's in the area, right-footed shot, not his favourite, no power, and Evra is able to clear it away.
Great patient play again, and this way Man United's got to exploit. They've got a little red shirts forward. Kagawa's give it away with Rooney. Welbeck wants to get back on the pitch. He's had to change his footwear. He's going back on now. But when they do intercept, we've got to say the back four's done very, very well so far.
David Moyes is incensed here, and he's got a case. The ball went dead there, but the referee didn't look over. And the 4th official won't allow Welbeck back on. I mean, you know, you can't come back on until the referee gives you the indication. But when the ball goes dead, surely with the headphone sets they have, the 4th official should have told the referee to allow him back on. Lahm here tries to snapshot from outside the box. It deflects off Darren Fletcher, and it goes out for a corner to Bayern Munich. And finally, Danny Welbeck is allowed back onto the field.
Well, again, good attack by Bayern. Lahm has a shot deflected. You've got to say Manchester United's back 4 have done very well so far, and the 2 boys in front are working hard. But yeah, I don't think he knew Danny Welbeck was off.
Ryan Giggs has now come out and had a right earful, roaring into the ear of the fourth official. Here comes the corner, swung in from the right hand side. Everett and Rooney jump together. David De Gea comes out and he snatches it the second time. And Manchester United are still doing okay here. Long ball from De Gea, too far in front of Welbeck, and that will carry through to the goalkeeper Neuer. Well, before the first leg, when this draw was made, the expectancy was Bayern Munich were going to run it. They were going to crush Manchester United. We've now seen them play, 26 minutes tonight, the 90 minutes at Old Trafford. Manchester United have stood up to their illustrious opponents this evening. Here comes a cross which Jones clears away, and Valencia should complete the job but loses it on the edge of the box to Ribery. That's a mistake. Ribery shoots for goal. It was low, it hits the side netting. David De Gea was so confident he pulled his hands back at the last moment. He knew that wasn't going on target.
I've got to say, Conor, Bayern Munich are definitely the better side. I've got to say, quite a bit the possession stats will be unbelievable, I know, but what's De Gea had to do? He's dived out of the way of that one. He knew it was going into the side netting from Ribery's shot. Apart from that, for all the build-up play, they've been in good areas. Robin's a constant threat. Ribery's coming into the game. Cruz is running the midfield, but they still haven't had a real chance yet.
That famous night in 1999 in Barcelona, it was Mario Basler who scored early in the game after just 6 minutes to put Bayern Munich in front, and then the famous comeback in stoppage time at the end. Mandzukic was challenged from behind there by Vidic, and we've had the first yellow card of the game. Nemanja Vidic, who is joining Inter Milan in the summer, the man who scored Manchester United's goal in the first leg. He goes into referee Jonas Eriksson's notebook, and the first yellow card this evening. Free kick inside the centre circle for Bayern Munich.
Well, if he just turns away and runs back to his centre-half position, he doesn't get that. He stood and argued the case, and the referee, no hesitation, gets that yellow card out.
Manchester United don't have any players in the starting 11 who would miss the next game if booked this evening. Mandzukic is on the ball here, is in that situation for Bayern. Rio Ferdinand, who's on the bench, should he come on and pick up a booking and Manchester United go through, he would be ineligible for the first leg of the semi-final. Free kick here for Manchester United, and they'll take their time over it. Vidic, right-footed, looking for Welbeck. It's a great free kick from Vidic, taken on the chest by Welbeck. Kagawa now 10 yards outside the penalty area, wide on the left, spins around 360 degrees, gives it to Rooney, sloppy ball from Rooney, but Evra makes the most of it. Now finds Kagawa in the penalty area, back for Evra, he's got a stretch here. Was that a handball as the defender slid in on the ground? It will go out, I think, for a corner anyway. No, it won't, it was offside. Linesman's flag is raised for that return ball the second time to Evra. And Evra's still appealing that it might have been a handball. Well, the referee says offside anyway.
No, he was offside. They just delayed the pass coming back to Evra, and there definitely was a handball after that, definitely. But he's offside as he tries to cross it. There's a Boateng and just catches him and goes out, but he's offside anyway.
Well, that was one of the better attacking passages we've seen from Manchester United. Rooney, Evra and Welbeck linking up. And that's what David Moyes will want to see more of. If you're a Manchester United fan, tune our way on 5 Live this evening. There have been glimpses from your team. Rooney had a good opportunity, but opted to turn onto his right foot, and then the chance was gone. And just there, were it not for the linesman's flag, Manchester United might well have had a penalty. Manuel Neuer, the German international goalkeeper, comes out of his penalty area and kicks it away, right-footed, controlled by Muller on the far side. Interesting, by the way, that 2 of Bayern's reserve keepers, their second and third choice, if you like, are injured at the moment. So it's young Lucas Rader who would come on to play in goal should anything happen to Neuer tonight. But Tom Stark, who's the regular goalkeeper, he picked up an injury in training on Friday, and the ball is passed out towards the near touchline, and it was Jones who puts it out. It was Rader who also picked up an injury, so he is the man who's on the bench, but despite having had a knock a couple of weeks ago and been deemed as being a doubt. But Manuel Neuer, well, they wouldn't want to lose him. What a consistent goalkeeper he has been. And for all the talk that Welbeck should have scored that one-on-one chance he had in the first leg, Neuer did stand up to him, make a very good save. Here's Robin on the ball. He's been Bayern's danger man tonight. 0-0 on 5 Live. But this time the pass is intercepted. Kagawa, who's having a tidy game, gives it to Valencia near touchline, down that right wing for Rooney. You can hear the boos whenever he's on the ball, and Rooney loses the ball once again, and Alaba, who will stretch, won't keep it in play, and that'll be a Manchester United throw. Attacking position down the right hand side. We have played half an hour in the Champions League. It's Bayern Munich 0, Manchester United 0 on the night.
Well, as a throw in, they're not going to rush again, Manchester United. But yeah, you're right. Philip Lahm's playing centre midfield. They're just playing 3. Cruz is playing as a sweeper between the 2 centre halves when they get the ball. The two full-backs are like wingers. Alarm's gone into midfield, Robin stays out wide on the right. Muller's playing up front with Mandzukic, and they are playing three at the back there, with Cruz just dropping, and sometimes just two at the back.
Here is Kagawa, 5 yards outside the penalty area for Manchester United. Can't control a bouncing ball though. Fletcher tries to help him out. Alaba gets it. Oh, and he was close to losing it. Valencia slides in, and that will be a throw-in for Bayern Munich. They do like to try and play their way out of trouble if they get caught in those full-back channels. Alaba on this occasion winning a throw-in, which he takes now. Long throw towards the halfway line. Flicked on by Mandzukic. Good defending by Phil Jones to regain possession for Manchester United. Fletcher then jumps in the air with Dante. He claims that it should have been a throw-in for Manchester United. Referee and his fellow officials say no. And it's Alaba, the Austrian, once again in this left full-back position. This is 5 Live from the BBC. Quarter-final, second leg of the Champions League. 1-1 it remains on aggregate, on a night in which Manchester United must score or they're out. Smalling plays it forward too high for Rooney. Dante jumps 5 yards outside the penalty area, and it comes back to Smalling again inside the Manchester United half. His clearance via the backside of Ribery goes out for a Manchester United throw. It's just got a bit scrappy in the last couple of minutes. Götze on the ball now. Good ball. Ahead of Robben. Chance to run. Manchester United defenders backpedaling. Robben into the penalty area for Muller. And it's a well-timed sliding challenge by Evra, which doesn't go out of play. Robben collects it. So Bayern Munich is still on the attack. Manchester United with sufficient defenders now. There are 10 players in the box. It's out to Lam, and it's back to Boateng, and they have a line of 6 attackers along the edge of the penalty area here, Bayern Munich, and Cruz tries to ping one out, but it's intercepted. He was looking for Robben on the right-hand side. It was intercepted by Evra. Ribery collects the ball. He's on the right-hand side now. Lam to Dante. Here comes the cross. Put too much on it, surely. It'll bounce in the box. Mandzukic, best efforts to keep it in, but that was a poor cross, and it goes out for a goal kick to Manchester United.
Well, you've got to say Manchester United defending very, very well. Yeah, they've had a couple of half chances on the break. Rooney had a fantastic chance from Ebe, took his left foot. Apart from that, Bayern Munich haven't really tested this Man United goalkeeper yet. They've just played in front of them. They've moved the ball. You've got to say that the ball retention, the way they get the ball back, is really good on the eye to watch. But final third, no problems for Manchester United.
The travelling fans from Manchester are all housed top tier up high to our left-hand side. I'm sure many of them will have gone to pay their respects at the Munich Memorial here in the city to the Manchester United players who lost their lives in that air crash, as the ball is cleared by Dante. What a ball to Ribery on the left-hand side. Now midway inside the Manchester United half. Smalling's under pressure here. Ribery tries to sell him a little dummy. Smalling stands tall. He's not giving up the ghost here. Ribery's got to turn back in field. Good ball though to Götze on the edge of the box. Now across to Cruz. Thought about a shot. Shifted it on to Lam instead. And it's well back helping out the defenders, who makes the interception, and Carrick can clear it away. But it's all hands on deck for Manchester United, and when they clear it, more often than not, it's straight to a Bayern Munich player to come again, as Dante does now. Midway inside the Manchester United half, gets it back from Ribery. Now looks up, left-footed ball. Look at Robben hugging the touchline on the far side, and Evra will intercept those all day long. Heads the ball away. Not a good header from Evra, because Robben has collected it and he's attacking the penalty area. Right foot across, Kagawa's interception. Corner to Bayern Munich on the right-hand side.
Well, again, it's all Bayern Munich, but give Manchester United credit as a team. They're defending very, very well. They're really closing Bayern Munich down, but they've got to do more when they get the ball.
0-0 on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. Corner with 10 minutes to go to half-time. Robben swings it in swinging, headed away. Ribery back out to Robben. He'll do well to keep this in play. Stretches, linesman's flag is raised anyway. And Robben, who had taken the corner, was too slow getting out to be onside to receive that pass back again. And that's good organised defending from Manchester United.
Very good. They got out the box very, very quickly. And as you say, Robben was jogging and he realised the ball's coming back to him. He's trying to sprint back and get on the side, but it's too late. And David Moyes defensively, as a team he's set up, he's got to be delighted so far. But again, it's the same problem as the first game. They don't do enough when they have the ball.
Manchester United must score tonight or they are out of the Champions League. De Gea's clearance up over the halfway line, controlled on the chest by Cruz, who's such an efficient player, and he gives it back to the goalkeeper. Neuer. Rooney will sprint in to put pressure on him, but Neuer's left-footed clearance goes straight down the centre of the field, and Chris Smalling jumps in the air, but he was fouled as he jumped by Thomas Muller, and that's a free kick to Manchester United on the halfway line.
Well, do you send Vidic and Smalling up and put one in the box and see if you can get something out of it? They're not obviously reluctant to do that.
Interesting that he doesn't, no. Jones doesn't go forward, Smalling, Vidic, they all remain back, and the free kick is taken short. As a gentleman with a green balloon walks by selling beverages. I think he's selling beer, actually. They sell that in the seating areas in the stadiums here in Germany. This is Jones onto Valencia. Back now to Darren Fletcher. Heavy touch he didn't need there, and Götze gets it off him. Chance of a counter-attack for Bayern Munich, but Robben dillies and dallies a bit just inside his own half, and a few groans around the stadium. And he raises both arms. This is sort of an exasperated apology there. He said, well, look, there was nothing on, and rather than risk losing possession, Robben just held onto it, and Manchester United were able to get back into their defensive formation. That's a poor clearance, and the ball gets out of play, and further evidence that Bayern Munich, for all their good play, they're not playing in fifth gear tonight. We're not seeing them at their very best.
I've got to say the work rate they put in is tremendous to watch, and they cover the ground, whether it be Ribery, Robben, whoever. They close people down very quickly, but the final third, they've run out of ideas.
Boos for Rooney as he loses the ball on the left. Welbeck gets it back again. Evra, not a good pass to Rooney, it's intercepted. Now Götze to Lamb, another chance of a counter-attack here. Statistic from our producer Alistair Yeomans. 207 passes for Bayern Munich, 70 for Manchester United. That sums up the possession difference in this game. But in terms of gilt-edge opportunities, Bayern haven't had many. Here's one though. Muller in the penalty area, tries a back heel, and he falls to the ground. Play on, says the referee. Mandzukic now, back to goal. Ribery on the edge of the box. Alaba turns it onto his less favoured right boot. He won't shoot with that. Gives it off to Lamb. Space for Robben. This is dangerous now for Manchester United. Robben into the box. Turns onto his left boot. Gives it to Kroos. The shot is too high. That was a very similar build-up to the goal Kroos scored against Arsenal earlier this season.
It was a very good play again. Very bright as well. That throw-in came into Muller, wasn't it? A great save and tackle. And you've got to say, Manchester United defensively have been excellent. Can't fault them. But again, we'll go back to when they have the ball. They're not really asking any questions. They don't string 3 or 4 passes together, and it's very easy for Bayern to get the ball back.
We've now got 7 minutes to go to half-time. 7th place in the Premier League. You would think that Manchester United's only chance of being involved in this competition next year is to go and win it this time round. And earlier on today at breakfast time, I saw some Manchester United fans who were having a chat, and they were drooling over a prospect, Chris, of winning the Champions League, and as they put it, if Liverpool were to finish 4th in the Premier League, because that would mean Manchester United would take the 4th spot. Liverpool wouldn't get in the Champions League. You know, it could be Arsenal, it could be, I guess, Chelsea technically bought Manchester City. However, they were particularly appealed with the idea of it being Liverpool, strangely enough. But what a twist it would be, with all the disappointment for David Moyes, the aeroplanes and the banners and all that, if he was to win this game and to be just 3 games away from potentially lifting the Champions League. There is still a chance for this season to end in glory for Manchester United, and it's 0-0 here tonight. There's a player injured in the penalty area on the far side. It's Evra, yeah. and Carrick put the ball out of play so he can get treatment.
Well, I think there's a few players appealed for the free kick as well, and right on the corner of the 18-yard box. He didn't give it. Lahm was the offender. Nobody give it. And eventually Carrick puts the ball out. But they're all going to David Moyes now. Look, he's having a word with Wayne Rooney, and it's just basically, can they get a hold of the ball? There's not a lot more you can say they've done wrong. All Bayern have dominated possession. They haven't hurt, they haven't tested the hair. But what Man United, can they do a little bit more in possession?
Evra leaving the field on the far side. I'm sure he'll be okay to continue in just a moment. Rooney, who had a word with Moyes there, jogs back onto the field. Not had too many clear touches of the ball as Wayne Rooney. More often than not, he's been stretching for it. He had that one chance in the box when we were surprised, Chris, he didn't just have a go with his left boot.
Oh, he should have shot, there's no doubt about that. We got the space. Listen, if you miss, you miss. The goal, he saves it, he saves it. But what an opportunity. As soon as he checked back again onto his favourite right foot, it's too late.
Bayern Munich hoping to become the first team to successfully defend the Champions League trophy. Of course, AC Milan did win the old European Cup back-to-back, 89 and 90, but no one's done it in the Champions League era. And this is Kroos, and Götze coming away with the ball inside their own half. Kroos wanted it back again. Götze's given it to Boateng on the right-hand side. Manchester United falling back into their defensive formation, and we've got 4.5 minutes of the first half, plus stoppages to go. Kroos in the centre circle. Forward to Philippe Lahm, back again to Dante. Lamb has got room, he's got 10 yards in front of him, quickly runs into that space. Welbeck was trying to get back. Here is Robin, goes down on the edge of the D, big dramatic dive to the floor. Referee's not interested and says play on, and Bayern Munich hold on to the ball, but they're back inside their own half.
Right, just Robin, you always expect it every time, don't you, for him to go down he did that time, and the referee basically had a laugh at him, didn't he? So
has already scored 3 times in the Champions League this season. Ian Robin, he's on the ball again. Boos from the Manchester United fans for him. Here is Götze. Gives it back to Muller on the right-hand side. Mandzukic is standing on the penalty spot, waiting across. Alaba, though, turns and gives it back to Dante, deepest lying Bayern Munich player, and he's 10 yards inside the Manchester United half. Manchester United with everyone behind the ball. Lamb to Cruz. Welbeck applies good pressure. Dante now has to retreat back inside his own half. Just over 3 minutes to go to the break. This is Jerome Boateng. Short to Cruz. And now he tries the penetrating ball, which comes off the left boot of Patrice Evra and out for a throw-in. They're using this multi-ball system where the ball boys immediately throw a ball to a Bayern Munich player, and they take the throw-in so quickly. Here's a cross by Muller, picks out Cruz, stabs it into the penalty area, looking for Mandzukic. Phil Jones wins a header. Still work to be done here by Valencia to get it away. A tangle of legs, play on, says the referee. Valencia's done well. Carrick turns, gives it back to Jones, turns, gives it back to the goalkeeper, and Manchester United survive once again.
Well, they've done well defensively, you've got to say. Manchester United, it's been all Bayern possession. They've come forward, they've changed the system, and I think Guardiola, as a top coach, getting teams to the last third of the pitch, and I think after that you're down to the players then. You know, whether it be Robin, Ribery, I think he leaves them to their own and says, listen, you go and do a bit of magic, you always win the football match. But it hasn't happened for them tonight.
Still 1-1 on aggregate from the first leg, and Robin's on the prowl on the right wing once again. He's got Kago as his nearest opponent. It was a doubling up, allowing Everett to sit a little bit deeper should Robin go searing past the Japanese player. Robin passes it on this occasion to Götze, and that's where Everett is able to then snap in and make the tackle, and Manchester United clear it away up towards the halfway line, where Welbeck has got to stretch, and he loses out to Robin, who's having a real storming game. He's into the penalty area. This is threatening. Ian Robin shoots, deflected out for a corner. Well, they just threw themselves at him, the defenders. There was 3 Manchester United men who threw themselves at that, and Valencia made the crucial touch to put it out for a corner.
I've got to say he's been a bright spark, hasn't he? Bayern Munich, Cruz has done well, and Ribery at times, but Robin's been a handful all this first half. And again, the defenders have done their job.
She just peered my neck behind me to one of the television commentators, could see his screen. It was Valencia who lunged in, but the shot still would have been on target had it not then hit Smalling and gone out for this corner on the right-hand side. So a busy penalty area awaits. Boateng is dancing up and down on the spot. Phil Jones has had to go out of the box to keep tabs on Dante, who now runs in. Here comes the delivery, hanging in the air. Jones wins it, heads it down, and Fletcher chests and then clears away. And good play by Welbeck onto Fletcher here, and 2 players hit the deck. Play on to the referee. Chance of a counter-attack from Manchester United. Rooney runs. Lamb, though, has got the pace, gets there ahead of him and helps it back to Neuer, who then rolls it out, knowing that further up the field Ribery was down. To be fair, Ribery's got back up onto his feet, but Neuer had put the ball out for him to receive some treatment. Another chance for Manchester United there on the break.
Yeah, Kagawa did the right thing, just probably didn't put enough pace on the header to let Rooney use that pace to get away from Lamb. Well, look, I just saw the replay of the Smalling coming down and saying to Ribery, it wasn't a free kick, he's played the ball.
Further evidence, though, we've been mentioning the commentary about how far up the field Lamb plays this, midfield role, but he's so aware of his defensive responsibilities, and when that break happened, he was the furthest back defender challenging Rooney. Here come Bayern down the right-hand side once again. Götze with good feet. Ribery was ready to pull the trigger, but Fletcher stretched out, intercepted, and clears the ball away. There will be 1 minute added on for stoppages at the end of the first half here in Munich. It is 0-0 on the night. It's 1-1 on aggregate. As things stand, Manchester United are going out, but 1 goal, and they are so back in it they would have the lead in the tie. This is Boateng, left-footed clearance back into the Manchester United half. Jones has the whereabouts to allow it to bounce and then clears away. And the last touch there, well, I thought the last touch came off Alaba. Referee says no. David Moyes can't believe it. Turns his head. I'm sure offers some sort of expletive into the night air. But it's a Bayern Munich throw. Lamb takes it to Cruz. to Götze on the left-hand side. This is midway into the Manchester United half. 10 men behind the ball. Boateng. Chance to look up. Again, Robben stretching the pitch as wide as he can by standing literally on the touchline right-hand side. Now veering in with pace. Robben with Kagawa keeping tabs on him. Now Alaba doesn't fancy a shot himself. Gives it off to Ribéry. Now back across the face of the penalty area. But Boateng has come forward and he wants a shot, but it's a defender's shot. It's way too high, and that's not harming anyone. That is the final action of the first half, and the teams make their way towards the dressing rooms, very much level pegging. 0-0 on the night.
Well, I think Manchester United defensively, Mark, have been excellent. They've squeezed the areas down round the box in the last third, where that's the danger. Up to there, as you expected, Bayern Munich come out the blocks quick. They've used the ball well. Robben's been a threat. But saying that, De Gea hasn't made a save.
This is the third time I've watched them in this Champions League. The two games here with Manchester United and the Arsenal game. They have all the possession. They pass and pass and pass and pass and pass. But I can't say that they've overworked the goalkeeper in any of those games, Chris. Are they overdoing it?
No, I think they've lost that cutting edge. And listen, I think Guardiola, for me, is a coach who can work a team. And he's clever what he's done with Lahm tonight, pushing them into midfield and going two at the back with Cruz dropping off a little bit. But he basically says, look, I can get you to that final third. After that, you need a bit of magic. Now, he had Messi, he had Iniestas, he's had Xavi's, he's had so many talented players. Robben and Ribéry are well talked about, but tonight, Robben's been a handful without really that final pass, that final shot hurting Manchester United. Ribéry's been in and out of the game. When they get to that last third, you've got to say Manchester United have done their jobs.
But United still need a goal. However well they're defending, Chris Smalling having a very good game. However well they're defending, United need a goal. If they don't score, then Munich, even if they don't score, will go through on the away goals rule. Let's hear about the game in Spain. What a story could be developing there, John Bennett, at half-time.
Yes, Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 0, 2-1 on aggregate to Atletico. Fabulous game, Mark, as well. Barcelona were all over the place in the opening stages. They couldn't get the ball. A frantic first 10 minutes, and then young midfielder Koke opened the scoring with just 5 minutes on the clock. Header back across the 6-yard box by David Villa. Koke fired it in from close range, emphatic finish. And then Atletico hit the woodwork 3 times. Left-hand post, right-hand post and the bar, all in the first 20 minutes. Somehow Barca survived. Lionel Messi has had 2 half chances to equalise for Barca, but they have been very poor. Atletico Madrid haven't reached the semi-finals since 1974. They're 45 minutes away now. Atletico Madrid 1, Barcelona 0 at half-time, 2-1 on aggregate.
What a story that would be. We'll be going to the Masters after the news on 5 Live Sport with Madeline Briggs.
On digital, online, smartphone and tablet. This is BBC 5 Live.
A jury at the Old Bailey has cleared a man of the murder of PC Keith Blakelock during the riots in Tottenham 29 years ago. 45-year-old Nicky Jacobs had been accused of attacking the officer. 3 other men who were tried for the murder had their convictions overturned in 1991. Stafford Scott is the coordinator of the group Tottenham Rights.
This time round we've been given justice. We hope that this puts an end to this case. We feel sorry for the family of PC Blakelock. They shouldn't have been drawn through this because this case should never have happened. It was a prosecution that was never going to succeed.
Oscar Pistorius has been questioned by the prosecution about his version of events on the night he shot and killed his girlfriend. The prosecutor showed a photo of Riva Steenkamp's head wounds. The athlete refused to look at it. He denies murder. Up to 20 people have been hurt after a stabbing at a school in the US state of Pennsylvania. 4 students are in a critical condition. A 16-year-old boy's been arrested. David Cameron's faced criticism for not sacking his culture secretary. Maria Miller's now resigned after the row surrounding her expenses. She's been replaced by the Treasury Minister Sajid Javid, who becomes the first British Asian Secretary of State. The Conservative MP Michael Fabricant says he's been sacked as Tory Vice Chairman. He greeted Mrs Miller's resignation with a tweet that read, "Well, about time." The wife of a Royal Marine jailed for life for murdering a wounded Taliban fighter has spoken of her hope that he'll have his conviction overturned. Last year, Sergeant Al Blackman became the first British serviceman to be convicted of murder since the Second World War. His wife Claire has lodged an appeal which will be heard at the High Court tomorrow.
The trouble is that we're trying very hard to rationalise something that happened in a war zone, in a different country, on the other side of the world, in circumstances that none of us will ever begin to understand.
And you can watch a documentary about the case on BBC One tonight at 10:35. And security experts are advising internet users to change all their passwords following the discovery of a major security flaw. A bug called Heartbleed's been found in software used by websites to ensure secure connections.
This is BBC 5 Live on digital, online, smartphone and tablet.
A quick look at the roads in South Yorkshire. 2 lanes are closed on the M1 southbound, 4 miles south of Rotherham between junction 31 and junction 30 after a multi-vehicle accident. In Gloucestershire on the M50 eastbound, there's a broken down vehicle which has closed 1 lane between junction 2 and junction 1. And in Staffordshire on the M6 northbound, 3 miles south of Stafford, a lane is closed and there's heavy traffic due to an accident on the M6 between junction 13 and junction 14. Madeline Briggs, 5 Live Travel.
The doors are open at the call centre.
Smile as you dial, upbeat people sell.
Nev's gang are back and anything can happen.
When I come round and give them a cuppa, I'll give them a massage as well. Only like a little 5-minute one. Don't underestimate the tea lady.
The call centre.
Some say I'm barking orders, some say I'm barking mad, but I love it. Absolutely love it.
Continues Tuesday at 9 on BBC 3.
News away from the Champions League tonight. The Hull City owner Assem Alam says he will fight on with his proposal to change the club's name, despite being told by the FA he can't do so. Almost 2/3 of the members of the FA Council voted against the proposal. The FA's also proposed that from next season, anyone involved in the top 8 tiers of the English League system will be subject to a worldwide betting ban. And Tranmere have sacked manager Ronnie Moore less than 24 hours after he admitted an FA charge regarding multiple breaches of betting rules. The Wales and Lions international Gavin Henson has signed a 1-year contract extension at Bath, and the Yorkshire and England wicketkeeper Johnny Bairstow is out for up to 6 weeks. He's broken a finger. Now the Masters gets underway at Augusta tomorrow. The live coverage starts on 5 Live at 9 o'clock, and you can follow all 4 days across 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra. And hosting our coverage in Augusta will be Mark Chapman.
Yes, welcome to Augusta National. 2 members of our golf team with me. The 2 members of our golf team are with me. Ian Carter, our correspondent, and Jay Townsend. Did you like that introduction?
I did. I feel good about myself for some reason. Normally you guys don't do that for me, but yeah, good.
Is this as open a Masters as there's been for a while?
Definitely, and not just because Tiger Woods isn't here. Even if he was here, it would be wide open. It's just the nature of professional golf right now. You look at the names of the players who've been winning on the PGA Tour. I did a stat last week in the 5 tournaments leading up to Houston. The average world ranking of those winners was 150. I mean, that was skewed a little bit by Stephen Bowditch winning at 339 in the world, but it shows you the way it's gone. The trend continued in Houston last week when Matt Jones, unheralded Australian, overtook Matt Kuchar and beat him in a playoff by chipping in. It's a freaky year, really freaky, and that all points towards this being a wide open Masters, in my opinion.
So is that good for golf?
I think it's great for golf. It exposes more people to, both the everyday golf fan and the obscure golf fan. A lot of golf fans only tune in for the first time all year here at Augusta. This is really the start of the year in many people's minds. So I think it's going to be a great week. As Ian said, certainly some unheralded people will have a great chance.
And yet, sorry, Ian.
I was just going to say, I think the one problem that golf does have is that it doesn't have, beyond Tiger Woods, those figures and those rivalries that sports fans can really hang their hat on. It's not like tennis where you've got, your Federer, Nadal, Murray, Djokovic kind of scenario. And I do think that golf suffers a little bit from that. There is just a little bit too much parity and not quite enough clarity just at the moment.
As you can hear the chatter of patrons in the background, and members, and man's just walked behind us smoking a massive cigar. That's wafted right past us as we're doing that. And yet, despite talking about how open this field is, we can look to history for clues for a winner, though, can't we? Because obviously this is the major where we come back every year, and therefore we can already see players who like this course and perform well on this course.
That's a great point. It's a golf course, as our fans that listen all the time know. There's a lot of local knowledge here, and hence the fact that not many first-timers win here. There are a couple of first-timers in the field this year that have a lot of Georgia and Augusta kind of home field advantage a little bit. Patrick Reed played here at Augusta State, just, several miles away from the golf course.
He's not looking in confidence, are he?
No, he's not, and you know what? I like that. He took a lot of grief for saying he's a top 5 player in the world. If you don't believe it, you're not going to be. And if you're afraid to say it, you're probably not going to be. And I think that's great from Patrick Reed, and I think we need more of that. And I think you're going to see more guys, if they had the self-belief that Patrick Reed has, they might start playing better. Good for Patrick Reed. When he said it, I thought, that's really great. And I thought people are going to just absolutely lambast him, which he did, but I stand behind it. And Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, he said the same thing I thought.
You're nodding along there.
No, absolutely. I mean, it pains me to agree so readily with Jay this early in the week, but he's absolutely right. And, Patrick Reed won at Doral World Golf Championship event, 23 years old, youngest man to win a WGC. He's won other events on the PGA Tour, and he was someone who didn't get into a Walker Cup team a couple of years ago that had a lot of names that we're seeing, the Jordan Spieths and the Harris Englishes, and we knew about them at the time. But Patrick Reed is really someone to watch very, very closely.
Who else are we looking at then for you?
Well, I think there is a definitely that horses for courses kind of feel to this, and so I'd be looking at Jason Day if he's as fit as he says he is. He's had second and third in the 2 Masters that he's completed. The other one that he played, he withdrew through injury. Angel Cabrera, you look at the odds that you can get on him, but he's a former winner. He was in the playoff. He very nearly won it last year before Adam Scott, had to hole an excellent putt for birdie on the 73rd hole. So, those are 2 guys that you might not be thinking about, but are well worth looking at. Lee Westwood is another one that falls into that category. I was impressed with him over his last, 27 holes in Houston last week. He comes here, he says, when he drives down Magnolia Lane, the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. I know it's a cliche, but, a wizened old pro like Lee Westwood, when he starts saying things like that, you have to sit up and take notice. It does something to him. He's got a fabulous record here.
What about the defending champion, Adam Scott, for you?
I'm afraid he might have a little scar tissue. Earlier this year at Arnold Palmer's tournament at Bay Hill in Orlando, he had a 7-8 shot lead and blew that. He was playing flawless golf through 2 rounds and just really totally, in my mind, fell apart. He should have won by a huge margin, if not double figures. Very difficult to defend here. It hasn't been done since Ian can probably tell you, but it's been a long, long time. I believe it was Tiger. In my mind, I think Sergio is the man. So he's been playing well. He's putting the best of his life. Sergio's never won a significant tournament that Tiger's been in. Tiger's not here. I think the planets might line up for Sergio this week.
And one final thing, just on the scar tissue that Jay was talking about. Obviously, Rory McIlroy has scar tissue from here, albeit not last year. His press conference yesterday talking about he wouldn't be the golfer that he is now if what had happened to him here a couple of years ago hadn't happened to him.
Yeah, bear in mind that the very next major he went out and won it by a street at the US Open, so I think the scar tissue is very, very limited. McIlroy's really interesting. His game is made for Augusta. He's not finished in the top 15. Actually, look at the number of rounds that he's had in the 60s. It's a very low number, but I do like his chances. I like the way that he is approaching this Masters. I've seen a lot of him over the last week or two, and I really do have a sense that he has the maturity to go out and really contend in this Masters. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I do think that the shape of a green jacket does kind of fit his shoulders a little bit.
Thank you very much to both of you. For now, our coverage gets underway tomorrow night, 9 o'clock your time here on 5 Live.
Thank you very much, Mark. Looking forward to that. Busy weekend coming up on 5 Live Sport. Let me just tell you about Saturday. Fulham against Norwich at lunchtime. Connor will be at that one. Then I'll be at Wembley for the first Cup semi-final, Arsenal and Wigan. And on Sunday, the London Marathon. There's a special programme tomorrow night from 7:30 on 5 Live Sport, Mo's Marathon. So that will be well worth listening to. And also, if you know someone running in the marathon and you want to leave a message of support for them, this is the number you need: 03700 100 500. 03700 100 500. Ring it up, leave your name, the name of the person running, and the message. We can't broadcast every single one, I'm sure you understand that, but we'll try our hardest to get through as many as possible. 03700 100 500. Be aware that standard geographic charges from landlines and mobiles will apply. Chris Waddle, how many shots on target do you think in the last 135 minutes Bayern Munich have had in the Champions League?
4.
2.
There you go.
2.
It's only got overrated before the show, didn't it?
Yeah. Pass and pass and pass and pass. But, Connor, Manchester United still have to score.
I love the tunnel here. It opens up like the boot of a car.
Yeah.
Up out of the ground, and the players come out and then they slam it shut.
I hope no one
again.
gets left behind in there.
No, you'd be like knock at the top of the steps. We're about to get back underway. No changes in personnel over the break. It'll be Manchester United to start the second half. Rooney and Carrick inside the centre circle. Determined look on the body language of the Manchester United players, and they've got to go for this at some stage tonight. And even if it becomes like Chelsea and 3 strikers right at the end last night, at some stage, not yet, but David Moyes, if it stays like this, will have to go for it. And for now, Manchester United, I'm just laughing, Danny Welbeck has gone running forward because he thought the second half had started and it hadn't, and he's had to come back from 10 metres inside the opponent's half back to the halfway line. Now we are finally back underway for the second half. It's hooked out to Welbeck, plays a 1-2 with Kagawa, gets into a crossing position left hand side, tackled by Lamb, but wins the first corner of the second half for Manchester United within seconds of the restart. Good start.
Well, it's their first corner as well, I believe. So we saw what they did at Old Trafford. Vidic had a free header. That night Bayern Munich left 3 up the park. At the minute they've got 1 and maybe 1.5.
Vidic has gone up there, Smalling is up there, Jones is up there, Carrick in the centre, Welbeck is standing on the toes of the goalkeeper, and Wayne Rooney just moves a television microphone out of the way so he can run up at the angle that he wants to. Here it comes from Rooney, played deep towards the back post. Phil Jones is there, jumps in the air. So too though was Alaba, and it goes out for another corner. There was a hesitation amongst the officials, and I think it's that 5th, 6th official behind the goal who eventually said corner kick.
So they actually do something then, do they?
Well, I feel certain. People say they don't do things. I mean, they don't have a whistle. They're not supposed to indicate. All they do is talk to the referee. That's their action. But yeah, I'm not going to be too long and hard in my defence of those guys. Right, here comes the corner on the right-hand side. Bayern Munich are leaving 3 players up the field for this, by the way. Now it's 2. Robben's come back. Here comes the corner. Goalkeeper came, punched. Robben's in the right position here, but Carrick gets there ahead of him. And there's a Manchester United player down injured. Is it Smalling? Down injured in the 6-yard box. As Alaba here stretches to win the ball, and Bayern have it, and Götze. And back to Robben, who does put the ball out of place, so some treatment can come on for Chris Smalling. Neuer, the goalkeeper, came. He had to make that punch. He did.
Well,
but he got a bit of Smalling as well.
He's a very good goalkeeper, isn't he? You've got to say no. And he came through a lot of bodies there, got a good fist on it. He's getting Smalling up. I think the goalkeeper's doing the physio's job.
Well, just a chance to remind you all, we've got a break in play here. We want to hear from Manchester United fans on air. Later on, we'll give you the number and the contact details. But we're on air until 10:30 tonight with Mark Pugac live from the Allianz Arena here in Munich. And one way or the other, there's going to be talking points for Manchester United fans. Is this to be the last gasp for glory this season? Can Manchester United still be in the hunt for silverware when they fly home later on tonight? Or is their last chance going to evaporate here this evening? At the moment, they need a goal. If it stays like this, Bayern Munich go through to the semi-final. And still, Atletico Madrid leading Barcelona in the other quarter-final tonight. What an interesting result that would be if it was to stay like that. 1-1 in the first leg and 1-0 to Atletico Madrid tonight so far. Dante's on the ball just outside the penalty area. Bayern Munich playing from left to right as we look down in this second half. He goes very long, flicked on in the air by Mandzukic, controlled by Muller. Back to Mandzukic again on the left-hand side. Götze has made a great run forward. Muller as well in the penalty area. Immediately passes it out to Ribery on the left-hand side. Ribery running, ball glued to his feet. Phil Jones had to be careful, and he just toe pokes the ball out for a Bayern Munich corner.
Well, that was the first we saw them in the second half. It was a long ball by Dante up to Mandzukic up front, who linked the play up very well. Ribery had a good opportunity. There was 4 red shirts waiting by that cross. He decided to dribble. He's got a corner out of it,
which Robben has sprinted across to take on the left-hand side, so it'll be out-swinging from the left-footed Dutchman. Dante's lurking at the back post. Here comes the delivery. Muller lunges at it, can't get a touch, and it's Vidic who clears. The ball hits Ribery and falls kindly for Valencia, who finally puts his boot on it, and a big long ball over the top, which Welbeck goes chasing after. Alaba beats him in the air. Toni Kroos gets it under control for Bayern Munich. Now to Ribery on the halfway line. This Bayern Munich team, who have swept all before them so far this season, but having lost for the first time in the league on Saturday, and here looking to break the deadlock at home against Manchester United. Good throw out there from De Gea to Evra on the left-hand side. Supporters all over the ground still streaming back from their half-time refreshments.
I couldn't believe, Conor, how many people went out at half-time for a drink. It was just basically 3/4 of the stadium.
Well, they've got a very modern, efficient system for the refreshments at half-time. You can't pay cash in the stadium. You sort of have this special cards that you use, these sort of prepaid card. And I guess that speeds things up in terms of giving change, but everyone goes and gets something inevitably, and it takes them a long time to get back. Ribery here, but a bit of mopping up to do in defence. Make sure the last touch comes off a Manchester United boot, and in doing so ensures a Bayern Munich throw-in, left full-back position for them. Chris
Manchester United are pressing a lot higher. Robben's picking up, 30-40 yards in his own half.
That's a good ball. Robben to Lam, lots of space on the right-hand side. Lam gives it a low cross, excellent defending from Darren Fletcher, who got back into the penalty area and cleared the ball away. Evra completes the clearance, ricochets off Lam, who, all his experience, that was the position he needed to provide a more deadly cross from.
Well, it's let him down tonight, not just Lam, but Robben, Ribery. They've been in areas where can they pick a red shirt out who's standing in the middle? No, they haven't. Give mine a lot of credit the way they've defended. They've got very close to the red shirt to Bayern Munich when they've got over that halfway line, and they've actually pushed on a little bit from the start of the second half. Man United, they've got subs warming up. Ashley Young, Januzaj, who can easily change a game.
Scored against Newcastle on Saturday, Adnan Januzaj. If Manchester United were to get a goal here, they would move in front of the tie, and then Bayern would have to score twice to win it in the 90 minutes, because 1-1 this evening we would have extra time. So 1 goal for David Moyes could mean everything. De Gea plays it long. Welbeck jumps with Boateng. Neither of them get a touch. Kagawa to Rooney in the penalty area, and he tried to hook it back for Welbeck. He didn't fancy the shot himself, Wayne Rooney, again on his left foot, interestingly, in the penalty area, and Bayern Munich get away with that one. Here is Valencia challenging for the ball on the far side. Collision with Alaba. Ball goes out of play. Throw into Manchester United. Phil Jones has made a storming run, and Valencia decides not to bother throwing it to him. But it was another opportunity for Rooney there, Chris, in the penalty area. Yeah. He didn't shoot.
No, he's tried to flick it back onto his right foot again, and just swing your left foot at it. It was just sat up nicely.
Jones has to stretch. He actually controlled the ball on his face there on the far side. Gets it to Valencia, onto Kagawa, crossing position, right-hand side. 4 defenders around him. Kagawa's done well to keep it alive. And then the last touch comes off Valencia, and a throw into Bayern Munich, left full-back position for them. Still Bayern Munich 0, Manchester United 0 this evening here on 5 Live from the BBC. Throw in from Alaba, flicked on by Mandzukic, doesn't find a teammate, and Vidic can just retreat back into his own half and roll it all the way back to the goalkeeper David De Gea. Long ball from the Spanish keeper over the halfway line. Jones' control wasn't great. Ribery picks it up for Bayern Munich. Now Mandzukic on the left-hand side runs to the penalty area. Götze's in field of him. Left-footed cross from Götze, deflects off Carrick, and that is a corner to Bayern Munich on the left-hand side. We've played 7 minutes in the second half. Both teams have had chances.
Yep, still 0-0 though. Manchester United defending very, very well, and I've got to say, I think they've started the second half very well. They're starting to ask a few questions, growing in confidence.
Ian Robin places the ball carefully for this corner kick. The huge flag still waving in the air behind that goal that Bayern are attacking. Here comes the cross. Wayne Rooney gets up to head it well outside the penalty area. Toni Kroos collects it. Back out to the left-hand side to Robin. Sends in another cross. This time it's a diving header from Phil Jones, and that goes out of play on the far side for a throw-in. Robin takes it immediately. This multi-ball system is rapid fire when Munich need a throw-in quickly. Now this is Ribery. Turns around Carrick. Very good cross. Mandzukic with the shot. It's blocked away. Brilliant defending by Vidic, who has caught the ball in a very painful area, and he falls to the ground with his hands between his legs. But that was a crucial block from Manchester United's captain, because Mandzukic's shot on the half volley was going on target. It remains 0-0.
Fantastic defending. They've done it all night. They've really gotten blocks, the headers, they've really defended the goal very, very well. As a team, back forward, 2 centre-halves have been excellent, but Bayern Munich could just show you there what they can do when they go through the gears.
Well, he's running. Vidic sort of running with his knees bent, and he's sort of crouched out as he's running, and he's afraid to stand up straight, and he's still feeling the effects of that shot from point-blank range into his nether regions. But he has made a very, very important block there, arguably as important as the goal he got in the first leg. Free kick to Manchester United. Rooney preparing to take it. Bayern bring all 11 back behind the ball. Rooney rolls it short to Fletcher, gets it back again. And then Vidic will turn, and from an attacking, from a free kick in the Bayern Munich half, they turn and give it all the way back to the goalkeeper. What's that about?
Well,
hang on, long clearance from De Gea. Valencia chases after it on the right, but he's crowded out. 3 defenders around him. Alaba clears it away. Chris?
Well, for me, you've got to put the ball in the box. That's where you're going to get a little bit of joy against this Bayern Munich side, and it was a good opportunity for them. Wayne Rooney takes a quick free kick. I saw David Moyes, he just put his arms up as if to say, what are you doing?
What's the point of that? Here comes Kagawa. He's a long way out. He shoots. Neuer not only dives to his left-hand side, but catches the ball. Excellent save from the German goalkeeper. And Kagawa really needed to hit it firmer from that sort of distance if he was to threaten him. Götze stretches it. Goes in. Collision with Valencia. And that's similar. Do you remember the challenge at the end of the first leg when Manchester United fans were screaming for a red card when Valencia lunged in for a ball the other way around? But Valencia this time is down, holding his shins, and the referee is having words. Mandzukic is stating his case. I think it's just going to be, well, it's not, I don't think it's going to be a card. What do you think, Chris?
I just saw a replay behind us, and I just thought it was a
50-50
They both went for it, and listen, Valencia's come off a little bit worse, but I think they're making a little bit more of it, and but again, it's a free kick in a good position. Wayne Rooney's on the ball again. Bayern Munich, look how high they're defending, and this is a good opportunity to drop a ball in that space.
Bayern Munich have got a long history of facing English clubs in the European Cup. They beat Leeds in the final 1975, lost to Aston Villa in 1982. Manchester United beat them, of course, in 1999. As Dante here, after the free kick was floated in high, no one picked up on the second ball for Manchester United, and Dante was able to clear it away. Throw in right in front of David Moyes. Phil Neville comes off the dugout to play ball boy. That rapid, reproduction of balls, getting it back on quickly when Bayern have a throw in, is not afforded to the visitors, who've got to go and collect the ball themselves. Smalling, long ball from 15 yards inside his own half, onto the instep of Valencia on the far side. Phil Jones clips the ball forward. Fletcher helps it onto Welbeck. Good build up this. If Welbeck can produce a cross, but it's a disappointing one low into the penalty area, and Jerome Boateng will put it out for a Manchester United throw.
They've done well second half, Manchester United, haven't they? They've got higher up the field, they're asking questions, they're putting the ball, there's a lot of movement, the midfield starting to dominate.
We've played 11 minutes in the second half, 0-0 on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. Toni Kroos with the mopping up to do just inside his own penalty area, clears it away. Carrick is a sniff, can't get full control of it. Valencia now will on the touchline right hand side. He's around Alaba. Good play from Valencia. Here's the cross behind Welbeck. Evra is arriving. Oh, what a goal from Patrice Evra, right to the top corner. They jump off the bench in celebration. David Moyes is on the pitch. Patrice Evra smothered by his teammates for scoring a thunderbolt of a shot, left-footed, outside the penalty area, in off the underside of the crossbar. And as things stand in Munich, Manchester United could be about to knock the holders out. It's 2-1 on aggregate. It's 1-0 on the night to the visitors. And would you believe it? Patrice Evra has scored a world-class goal.
Excellent run by Valencia. First time he really took the full back on. He gets round him. Great pace. Just puts the ball in the danger area. Nobody gets on the end of it. Patrice Evra high up the field, which Man United have done very well second off. Comes onto it, just sits up nicely. What a strike. Underside the bar. 1-0 Manchester United. Great goal.
Here come Bayern Munich now. How will they respond? Götze into the penalty area. They are under pressure. Pep Guardiola's team. Diving header. Equaliser. Mandzukic. Instant response from Bayern Munich within seconds. And immediately from the restart, the cross from the left, the header from the big Croatian striker. And before they could even settle into their lead, Manchester United, it is 1-1 and it's back all level now for the tie. 1-1 in the night, 2-2 on aggregate, and that is a reminder of just how lethal Bayern Munich can be. 2 goals in immediate succession.
Well, by the way, football, it's your cliches, isn't it? You switch off, you're most vulnerable when the other teams, when you've just scored, and all the little catchphrase, whatever you want to say, that was exactly what happened. They just switched off from the kick-off. They were celebrating. All of a sudden, the kick-off, they've just gone up with the field. Simple ball in, simple header into the ground to here, no chance. 1-1, Mandzukic. It's such an easy goal to score, and they've defended so well, Manchester United tonight. To throw it away so quickly after Evra's spectacular shot.
Well, if Patrice Evra was an unlikely goal scorer, Mario Mandzukic has just snatched his 24th of the season. The big number 9, the power that he got on the ball there. De Gea left with no chance. Evra, who scored against Stoke in December in the Capital One Cup, his only ever goal this season against Cardiff in November. He struck a thunderbolt. Moyes was on the pitch, all the bench running down the touchline like Mourinho last night. But Bayern Munich just came back, settled, no massive reaction, kept their cool, instant equaliser, and it's all square now, on the night and on aggregate. As things stand, we would go to extra time if it finishes in 90 minutes like this. At the corner from the left-hand side for Rooney for Manchester United is caught by Manuel Neuer. Here is Ribery, who did brilliantly for the setup of the goal. Now Alaba comes over the halfway line. Ironically, Evra's goal has shaken Bayern Munich into life. Ribery sends in the ball. Thomas Muller, edge of the 6-yard box, gives it back to Ribery. Side netting. Low shot into the side netting. And Bayern Munich fans in front of us thought it was another goal for their team.
Well, it's just end-to-end football now, isn't it? We go from a Rooney corner. Now it picks it up, releases him down the wing. And within, 10 seconds there's a shot by Bayern Munich. The game now is end-to-end. And that's what we've been waiting for. Give Man United credit. They've come out second half and are really having a go at Bayern Munich.
Mandzukic, top scorer in the Bundesliga. He took it so well, set up by Ribery. And Manchester United still celebrating the goal down the other end. A penny for Alex Ferguson's thoughts, by the way, watching that one. Here is Kagawa just outside the penalty area. Back to Carrick. Carrick dinks it out to Jones, who's got space on the right-hand side. Much more open game now. Lovely back heel in the penalty area by Welbeck, but Dante was well positioned and clears it away. Fletcher and Carrick get it back in midfield for Manchester United, wearing their change strip, the dark blue. Here is Valencia, and now Welbeck in the air. Rooney! Oh dear, he's fluffed the shot. He was 12 yards out. He had a clean strike at goal. For some reason he's complaining as to why Welbeck passed it to him, but that was a gilt-edged opportunity and Wayne Rooney completely fluffed it.
Well, I think it came at him too quick. I think he's having to go Danny Welbeck to say, why did you hit it so hard towards us? Just roll it nice and easy. There's nobody next to him.
Here's Ribery down the other end, goes around Jones, hangs in across once again. Philippe Lam is arriving, controls it in the penalty area, lobs it back across, and then there's a header on target, but David De Gea gets up and makes the save. Thomas Muller with the header, but saved by the Spanish goalkeeper De Gea. Phone lines are open, by the way, 0500 909 693 if you want to get involved tonight. Mark Pugac on air from inside the Allianz Arena here in Munich until 10:30 this evening UK time. So 0500 909 693, those lines are now open. The official attendance tonight, 67,300, and that includes the section of seats which have to remain empty tonight as punishment for that banner that was unfurled during the Arsenal game earlier on in the campaign. Free kick to Bayern Munich, 1-1 in the night, 2-2 on aggregate between these famous old foes of European football. Robben on the ball. If you're just tuning our way, Patrice Evra briefly, ever so briefly, had United in front. Here is Götze on the edge of the box, now gives it to Ribery. Good block by Jones, who comes away with the ball. Lays a pass into the path of Valencia, who's now got Alaba for company. Valencia lays one over the top. Great run by Welbeck, but to control it, he had to cushion a header in front of him, and by doing that, he showed too much of it to the goalkeeper who made us. It's a great game now, Chris Waddle.
Fantastic second half. It's end-to-end stuff, and it's a proper cup tie now. Give Man United credit actually having a go. And when you do have a go at this back four of Bayern Munich, there is a lot of space.
Here is Ribery coming in off the touchline, left-hand side, gives it early this time to Alaba, who was in the box, tried to turn, taken away from him by Carrick. Boateng with a diving header, keeps possession for Munich. Now Toni Kroos looks up. There's loads of space for Robben on the right wing. Steps into the penalty area. Iron Robben to the byline. Kagawa's challenge, and that goes out for a corner. Corner to Bayern Munich on the right-hand side. There is a tension in the air here. It is even Steven between these two, but Bayern Munich, ever since they went behind to that Patrice Evra goal, have suddenly been shaken into life. The corner will be taken on the right by Iron Robben. Guardiola's preparing to make a change. Floated in. Smalling wins the header. Ribery controls on the edge of the box. Gets it on his right boot. Valencia gets enough on that to deflect it out for another corner on the left-hand side. The change he's going to make, he's going to bring on the Brazilian right-back Rafinha, which presumably will release Lam further up the field.
Well, I'm probably looking at tonight, you've got to look at Götze, who's not really got in the game for me. Costs a lot of money. I've never really seen him play well for Bayern Munich.
Rafinha prepares to come on. Bayern Munich have the corner, which is swung in from the left-hand side. Mandzukic heads it on again, but 3 yards wide. He's big and tall, the Croatian striker, and despite defenders leaning into him, he's still almost got that header on target. So here is the change, exactly as Chris Waddle predicted. Mario Götze, who scored against Manchester City in the group stage, he goes off, and Rafinha, the Brazilian defender, comes on. He was called up by Brazil for their game against South Africa in March. He started the game, his first cap since 2008, so he's making a late run to be in the squad for the World Cup in the summer, and he comes on and slots now into what looks like a very standard back four with Boateng and Dante inside him and Alaba in a left full-back position, and Philippe Lam now alongside Kroos in holding midfield roles. It is 1-1 on the night on 5 Live. Evra and Mandzukic with the goals, 2-2 on aggregate. It's all level, and at the moment we would have extra time and perhaps even penalties if necessary to decide this game. 65 minutes on the clock. There is still a quarter of this game to go.
I think Man United give a good account of themselves. I think a little bit off the pace from the start, which we saw Bayern Munich dominate. Too much room for Robben, who's not really had a kick second half. Kroos was dominating the midfield, who's not been on the ball as much again. So give Man United credit. I think he must have said, look, can we push on an extra 20 yards and ask some questions?
I was in David Moyes' press conference here at the stadium yesterday. He said this game is like a cup final, and I have to say it feels like a cup final in here at the moment. Brilliant atmosphere at the Allianz Arena in Munich. This was the stadium where Chelsea beat Bayern Munich 2 seasons ago to win the Champions League. And Boateng on the halfway line gives it to Robben up against the touchline. Evra comes close to him. Kagawa never far away either. Here's the new man, Rafinha, in field to Kroos, and now out to the left-hand side to Ribery. They love to stretch it from touchline to touchline, right to left. Here is Ribery now running at Jones, makes a burst for the byline, gets there as well, and a low cross which Carrick can only send into the air, and De Gea punches to the edge of the box. Robben to Rafinha, and it's deflected, and maybe another chance for Robben before Evra gets there and clears it away. Rafinha caught that a right wallop, but it was deflected away from Manchester United, and it's still 1-1 on the night.
Great defending, great blocking again, yeah, but Bayern now have just pushed Man United back. And as you say, they switched the play ever so well to the two wide men. You've got to keep stopping them three boys in the middle of the park getting on the ball.
They're all up on their feet and applauding at the Allianz Arena. Ribery's in the box again, sends in a cross, picks out Robben. How often have we said that tonight? Robben now sends it in low right-footed. Thomas Muller scores! 2-1 on the night to Bayern Munich. A predictable build-up. Ribery's cross to Robben, low ball into centre, and it's Thomas Muller, Munich's top scorer last season. He scored against both Manchester City and Arsenal in the Champions League this year, and now he has scored what could be a fatal goal for David Moyes and for Manchester United. Bayern Munich get their noses in front. It's 2-1 on the night. It is now 3-2 to Munich on aggregate.
Well, for me, Ribéry is just getting a little bit more space now, and he's getting the better of Jones the last 2 or 3 attacks. Jones is just coming off the pace with him, and he's causing a few problems. But when it comes back across, Thomas Muller does what he does for Bayern Munich, scores important goals, as he does for Germany. He hasn't had a particularly great game, Muller. He loses the ball a lot. He's not really involved in the way they play. But you've got to say, he's always in that danger when the ball comes in there.
5th goal in the Champions League this season for Thomas Muller, and you've got to take your hat off to Bayern Munich, really. They were asked the question here with Evra's goal, which was a thunderbolt, which, you know, the stadium shook, and suddenly Bayern Munich should have been on their heels. Immediately they equalise, and then a few minutes later they take the lead themselves, and we are watching a very good football team here in the German champions.
They played, yes. I mean, first half, I think, as I said earlier, so much respect Man United showed them. They've had a right go at them second half, and you can, if you ask this team questions, you get rewarded, and Manchester United's done well second half, but they've just come off the pace again, and I just wonder if he's tempted to put on Ashley Young and Januzaj and say, look, let's go and have a right go at them, nothing to lose now.
Well, listen, by the time the stoppages are added on, there's at least 25 minutes still to go here. What does David Moyes do? Does he bring on, for example, Ryan Giggs to try and create something? Does he bring on Hernandez, who scored the weekend against Newcastle? Moyes out of his technical area here, issuing instruction. I think he wants a positional change for Danny Welbeck. Kagawa controls the throw from Evra. Kroos goes hammering into Kagawa there, and Manchester United must retreat all the way to the goalkeeper, who's got to come out of the box, mind you, with Mandzukic bearing down on him. But De Gea gets there first. All he can do under pressure is wallop it clear out of play. Moyes still talking to Welbeck here and still issuing the instructions.
Well, I think he's trying to say to Danny Welbeck, look, just come and play on this left-hand side. Stop Rafinha getting forward a bit, but you've got to go for the game. You know, it was a mistake by Evra.
And Evra then brings down Ian Robben. He's going to be in trouble here. It's a yellow card for Patrice Evra. Ian Robben rolls in the ground and remains motionless now. Evra knew that he was in around the back of him. Manchester United will claim there were other defenders who could have got back, and that's why it's not a red. But as you can imagine, the protests are continuing, with Mandzukic and Ribéry right in the referee's face appealing that the punishment could have been more severe. Yellow card for Patrice Evra.
Yeah, definite yellow. I don't think it was a red neither. I think there was enough Manchester United players who would have got across before he got onto the goal, so the referee's got that spot on.
2 defenders for Manchester United on a yellow card now in the game, Evra and Vidic. Guardiola's had a word with the 4th official about it, and Bayern Munich have got this free kick in a dangerous position, about 8 yards outside the penalty area on the right-hand side. There's a discussion between 3 players, Lam, Kroos and Alaba, as to what they're going to do. David De Gea standing up against his left-hand post as he looks out. He's going to erect a 2-man wall, Welbeck and Kagawa, and the referee making sure that they're back the correct distance.
Watch Robben here, he's standing behind the wall. I've seen his roll before, and look, you're going to shoot and you just reverse it down the side of the wall where he comes out from the other side, and he gets turned. There's a lot of things they can do with this angle they've got.
Well, Lam is standing too close to the ball to strike. It looks like he's going to roll for Alaba. It's 2-on-1 where Patrice Evra's got to watch Robben and Ribéry. The ball is crossed into the box and away by Vidic. And Nemanja Vidic, who was the closest defender to Thomas Muller when Bayern Munich got the second goal, he is on hand on this occasion to clear the ball away. Munich are forced all the way back deep inside their own half. 2-1 on the night, 3-2 on aggregate. And Bayern Munich, as things stand, are going through, and Manchester United are under pressure now.
Hernandez is coming on.
So the Mexican receiving treatment, tucking his jersey into his shorts. He hasn't taken off his tracksuit top yet. And David Moyes with an outstretched palm and pointing a finger now, showing Hernandez exactly where he wants to be on the pitch. Smalling goes long down the right-hand side. Well, we saw last night with Chelsea, they just threw the kitchen sink at it at the end, and they got their goal. That's what Manchester United might want to do in the closing stages here, as Thomas Muller down the other end stretches with Vidic. That's a good tackle from Vidic. Bayern Munich are appealing for a penalty, but Vidic got the ball and put it out for a corner.
Well, very good tackling. We've got to say the back four's done very well as well tonight. Man United have been punished on 2 occasions where Bayern really have got in, and so he's going to make the substitution, I'm sure, in the next couple of minutes. But he may as well put 2 or 3 on. He's got nothing to lose.
Well, if Manchester United can get a goal, that will be enough to send them through on away goals. No matter what happens now, we won't have penalties this evening at the Allianz Arena. Robben's corner comes in, it's not dealt with. Mandzukic though with a terrible effort. Not sure what he was trying to do there. He actually helped the defence by clearing the ball away. Ribery though wins it back from Munich on the left hand side. This is Robben now attacking the penalty area on his favoured left boot. Rooney's with him. Good challenge from Rooney, and the ball ends up in the arms of the goalkeeper De Gea. Long clearance from De Gea towards Welbeck, who's got to try and chest it down, and it's so difficult when it's coming from that height. Rafinha's the defender with him. Last touch came off the Brazilian, and that is at a throw-in in an attacking position for Manchester United. Hernandez is still receiving instructions from Moyes.
Well, Donny Welbeck did very well there, didn't he? Chest control. Rafinha pinches it off him, but he works a throw-in high up the field. And since that second goal's gone in, Manchester United have gone a little bit flat. They've lost that tempo they were playing at, which were causing and asking questions as Bayern Munich back four.
Rafinha's been booked, throw in for Phil Jones on the right hand side, and he takes his time over it. Eventually onto the upper thigh of Valencia, who's done well to get around one defender, and the linesman has raised the flag on the far side, and that is a free kick. I think that Darren Fletcher might have obstructed the defender, and that's why Valencia was able to get past so easily. So here is the change, and it will be Fletcher who comes off to allow Javier Hernandez come on. So David Moyes takes off a midfielder to bring on the Mexican striker Javier Hernandez. Chris Waddle.
Well, we know if you can get the ball to him in the box, he can score goals. Wayne Rooney will drop back now and play centre midfield alongside Carrick. Kagawa will just play behind Hernandez. Welbeck's come out this left, Valencia on the right. And I wouldn't be surprised if Januzaj or Ashley Young comes on in the next 5 or 10 minutes as well.
16 minutes of the 90 to go. Hernandez, who has yet to score in the Champions League this season, is now leading the line for David Moyes' team. Rooney playing very deep at the moment, actually in midfield, with, as Chris said, Welbeck wide on the left-hand side. Throw in, Phil Jones takes it for Manchester United to Valencia on the halfway line. Going to lose it here, I think. Alaba, very strong in the challenge, the Austrian, and then charges after the ball down that left-hand side. It's gone on to play for a throw-in to Bayern Munich. The goals from Mandzukic, which cancelled out Patrice Evra's earlier one, and then Thomas Muller with the goal that has put Bayern Munich in front for the first time this evening. Away by Carrick outside the penalty area on the far side. Kagawa's done well to keep that in play, and he's still going, Kagawa. Hernandez is back onside. Here's the ball in towards Hernandez, and Boateng, well, it's not a back pass, is it? He miscued a clearance, Boateng, that became a shot on target. What an own goal that would have been. And Manuel Neuer caught the ball, knowing that he wouldn't be penalised, knowing that it wasn't an intentional back pass. But a little bit of drama just for the Bayern Munich defence as Robben now prowls forward down the other end, goes around Evra, he's into the penalty area. Ian Robben goes around Vidic. Oh, that is outstanding. That could be the nail in the coffin for Manchester United tonight, because Ian Robben has run from just inside the Manchester United half into the penalty area, around 3 defenders, and slotted the ball low into the bottom corner. It's 3-1 on the night, it's 4-2 on aggregate, and it looks like Manchester United are going out of the Champions League in Munich.
Well, the one thing you don't want is Robben bearing down on you as he did there. I've got to say, I think Evra should have done a lot better. He sort of sold himself with his... wasn't a great defensive tackle. It comes in as a deflection of Vidic, which goes in the bottom corner. De Gea couldn't get near. That's what Robben's good at. He goes across, he waits to get on that left foot. Vidic is very unfortunate. It's just deflected in off him. But I just think Patrice Evra should have done a lot better than what he did.
Well, we mentioned it in the first half. With Ian Robben, you know what he's going to do. He's going to cut in off the right wing onto his left foot, and he's going to try and tuck it in that bottom far corner. You know it's what he's want to do, but it's so difficult to stop him. And he went around Evra there, and he went around Vidic, and albeit with the deflection, it is a very impressive goal from the Dutchman. And Ian Robben has now scored 22 goals in the Champions League over the years, and surely that one is going to be enough now to put Bayern Munich through. Surely Manchester United can't come from behind like they did in Barcelona famously in that final in 1999. Guardiola's just roared at Robben there to say, take your time. Robben was about to take a quick throw in, adrenaline pumping through his body, and Guardiola says, hold your horses. We're in front here. Take your time. Manchester United win it back from the throw-in, and then that's a handball by Robben and a free kick to Manchester United. What do you do now, Chris? It looks like Januzaj is going to come on.
Januzaj was wonderful talent, great future ahead of him, but the game's gone now. You know, do you go for it and lose 4-5? What do you do? It's very hard. But listen, it's Champions League, you're going out anyway, so go for it. And you never know. We've seen things turn, but Bayern Munich now, they've got the confidence, and there's a light challenge there by Rooney on Robben.
A bit of petulance from Rooney. He caught Robben and then he had a word with him as well. Guardiola's not happy. Referee's coming across to have a word with Wayne Rooney, but it will just be a word as long as Wayne Rooney keeps his composure. A bit of back chat to the referee as well. A Munich fan behind the dugout there has held up a homemade Champions League sort of cardboard and tinfoil effort with the word PEP written on it. And he's got it held aloft once again, with the Bayern Munich colours dangling from its cardboard and tinfoil handles. Is Guardiola going to win the Champions League with another club, as well as the 2 titles he won with Barcelona? Certainly Bayern Munich have wrestled control of this quarter-final second leg now, leading by 2 goals on the night, leading by 2 goals on aggregate. If Manchester United can get the 2, they would go through on away goals, but 2 goals is a very tall order the way Munich have been playing. Has to be said, for a period there, it was a brilliant game, Chris. You know, when Everest scored the goal, when both teams are really going for it, great spectacle. Munich have just proved too strong. Here's Alaba, flashes in another cross. Mandzukic threw himself at it, couldn't get there. Robben will pick up the loose ball. He's into the penalty area again. Rooney's the defender, doesn't want to lunge in. Robben, low cross, De Gea makes the save.
No, I think the second half's been a proper cup tie, and give Man United credit, they went for it. A great goal by Evra. Then they switched off, got punished, and then when the games got opened up, you really saw what Bayern Munich have got when they give them a lot of space. They're great on the break. They've got 2 pacey wingers. Cruz in midfield sees a pass early, and they are a good side. I'm not saying they're not, but you know, Man United played well tonight, I think, even though it's 3-1.
Well, Manchester United fans, have you seen enough tonight to convince you there's been an improvement? 0500 909 693, the number to call if you want to get on the air this evening and speak to Mark Pugac here inside the Allianz Arena in Munich. Mark on air till 10:30. 0500 909 693 is the number. Januzaj still waiting to come on down on the touchline. Moyes comes out for another word of instruction to him. But it is 3-1 on the night to Bayern Munich. It is 4-2 on aggregate. The goals are Mandzukic, Müller and Robben, and that looks to be that from Manchester United's point of view, unless they can come up with a miracle here. It's Rooney in the centre circle, back to Vidic, was close to blocking that Robben shot, but ended up diverting it into his own net. Ball goes out of play, and that will be an opportunity now to bring on Januzaj, and it's number 19 that is raised, so Danny Welbeck is the player who comes off. And with Manchester United needing to score 2, bring on the wonder kid, Adnan Januzaj, his 31st appearance of this, his debut season. Scored at the weekend, but it was at his 4th goal for the club.
Well, I've actually put him behind Hernandez and brought Kagawa back out to this left-hand side, left Rooney in midfield.
Müller is on the score sheet tonight. Good pass to Rafinha. Fresh legs coming on as a second half substitute. Kagawa comes across but can't stop him. Evra, who scored Manchester United's goal here, isn't able to mop it up either. And now Vidic with a good pass to Kagawa. And he's pinned in a little bit here. He's played a very dicey pass into the centre of the penalty area, and Smalling just wallops it clear. And not much else that Smalling could do there. Bayern Munich regain possession. Lam to Cruz, and surely Munich will have enough whereabouts now to kill this game off. Mandzukic to Robben, rolls the ball under his studs, little bit of showboating there, and Evra makes a tackle, can't hold on to the ball though. Philippe Lam, 5 yards outside the penalty area, central location, rolls it out low to Ribery on the left hand side. Here comes the ball into the centre, Müller with the left footed shot, deflects off Smalling, and that's a corner to Bayern Munich on the left hand side. They lead 4-2 on aggregate.
That's what Thomas Müller does very well, isn't it? When the ball comes to him, he's always looking to get an effort on goal. He moves the ball well. He doesn't really take part in the game a lot. He's not really involved in the build-up, or he doesn't create a lot.
Corners rolled short by Ribery to Müller, back to Ribery. And has it now against the touchline on the left-hand side. Philippe Lam to Cruz, and they're so difficult to shake off the ball, Bayern Munich. So comfortable when they play these passes. That was an ambitious one, though, for Müller to chase after, but a calculated risk, as Jones had no option but to put it out for a throw. And Bayern Munich will hold on to possession. The clock continues to tick in their favour, and there are now just 8 minutes of normal time remaining. 8 minutes if David Moyes is to remain in the hunt for silverware this season. Ribery on the ball on the left hand side. They took the Throw in short. Cruz will turn. Oh, he's given the ball away to Hernandez. 3 up in attack for Manchester United if they can be quick enough here. Hernandez back to Evra. Bayern Munich rapidly, though, get 10 men behind the ball. And that was so impressive how they did that. They just all turned on the afterburners and sprinted. And watch Pep Guardiola here, dancing and waving both arms up in the air. And he says, hang on, this isn't over yet. He thinks the crowd have gone too quiet. He doesn't want his team to switch off. And Guardiola gets a huge response from the Bayern Munich fans. Long ball by Phil Jones down the right-hand side. Valencia's after it. Gets to the ball ahead of the byline. Turns back in field now. Needs support. Rooney provides it. Phil Jones now. United need a goal to make it an interesting climax. If they can get one goal here, Manchester United, it'll be on a knife edge. Januzaj shoots, but it's too high up over the crossbar, and it remains 4-2 on aggregate to Bayern Munich. And just clarifying, if United can score twice, they would go through and away goals. Chris Waddle.
It's a big ask though at this minute in time. They're a little bit flat. That was a good run there at the end there. Januzaj high and wide with the shot. But you've got to give him credit. There's another substitution for Bayern Munich.
Yes, they're going to bring on Claudio Pizarro, former Chelsea player. He's going to come on, and it's actually, I was wondering, was it Ian Robert? It's not. He's coming across to the touchline, but he's not the man who's going to be replaced. He just wants a drink. Thomas Muller, another of the goal scorers tonight, will go off, and Pizarro, who played against Manchester United in Community Shield in 2007 for Chelsea, played against them in the Premier League as well that season. He comes on now as a centre forward for the closing stages. He's 35 years of age now, but he will be the man that they'll be looking to find in the penalty area, with Mandzukic taking up a role wide on the left-hand side now. 3-1 on the night to Bayern Munich. As we told you, 0500 909 693 is the number if you want to get on 5 Live tonight. Ribery's attacking down the left-hand side. Jones keeping tabs on him. Ribery's into the penalty area. Jones stretches, does just enough to take the ball off the Frenchman, but he gets it back again, Ribery. Mandzukic now, with his back to goal, wanted to return a pass to Ribery, but the Frenchman hadn't anticipated that, and Smalling is able to clear it away. A question for our listeners in the phone-in tonight. If Manchester United are going out, the 7th place in the Premier League, how long before Manchester United are back in the Champions League? Let us know. 0500 909 693, that's the number to call, and tell us how long before you think Manchester United will be back in the Champions League. This is Valencia on the ball on the right-hand side. Manchester United need 2 goals. They need the spirit of Sheringham and Solskjaer back in 1999. And if any fans believe it's possible, it'll be Manchester United fans after that night at the Nou Camp. This is Kagawa by the corner flag. They need chances first and foremost. Rooney, he allows the ball past his body. And I don't want to be too harsh, Chris Waddle, but Wayne Rooney has not had the best night tonight.
No, he hasn't, and he's had one very good opportunity first half for me, shoot out his left foot. Whether you're saying it might be the injection or what, well, he shouldn't be on the field, and if that's the case. But he's not looked very sharp at all, has he?
Ball forward by Hernandez, looking for Kagawa, intercepted by Boateng, and cleared away now by Rafinha. He just wanted to clear the decks there. It's long into the Manchester United half. Smalling will collect. 3-1 on the night to Bayern Munich. Enough to see them through, perhaps. Long ball will be controlled by Valencia. What a great pass that was. Valencia crossing position. He's got to wait for his teammates to catch up with him. Picks out Rooney on the edge of the area. Poor shot again from Wayne Rooney. And the best chances for Manchester United tonight have fallen to their number 10, and he has not had the best response. The shots have been weak, they've been fluffed, and on that, I mean, we've seen him in the past just rifle it. It was soft and not what you expect from Wayne Rooney.
No, Connor, you might be right earlier about the injection working or not. He didn't look as confident as he goes to strike it. He pulls away, really. You could see he did not want to hit that ball.
No. Well, it's funny, isn't it? When a player, particularly a striker, isn't on form, doesn't have the confidence. Here is Rooney sending another pass. They're getting Valencia on the ball a lot in the last 5 minutes, Manchester United. It's a great ball from Rooney there. Now he's jogging forward to join the attack. Valencia sends in a cross, but it's behind Hernandez. And Rafinha has the luxury of controlling it in the box and looking up and then sending a pass out towards Robin. And he's fouled from behind by Evra, who's on a yellow card. And a free kick to Bayern Munich, and they'll waste some time over this.
Well, it's not a free kick, Connor, is it? Robin plays for that. You know, he's very good at it, I've got to say, and referees buy it, unfortunately.
3 minutes to go of the 90 minutes. There'll be at least another 3, maybe 4 to be added on for stoppages. But Manchester United need 2 late goals. It's the It's the mirror image of Barcelona in 1999. The same opponents. They need 2 goals to go and win it. This is Ribéry attacking down the other end, looking to really kill it off. Gives it to Pizarro. He's got the chance to shoot straight at the goalkeeper. De Gea makes the save. Important save, because that really would have killed off any hope.
Great improvisation. Did you see what he did? He couldn't get his foot wrapped around it, so he toe-ported it. And that's what goal scorers do. You can put it inside the foot anyway you like. That was very unlucky.
This is Valencia on the far side, in field to Kagawa. Bayern Munich fans are enjoying this now, chanting in unison as Rafinha makes another interception on the edge of the penalty area, denying Wayne Rooney access to the penalty area. This is Lam to Toni Kroos. Kagawa showing evidence of tired legs now as he saunters over to try and close down the angles. Manchester United need to really throw the kitchen sink at it. I mean, to be fair, that's what Chelsea did last night, pumping high balls into the penalty area, just going for it. Here is Mandzukic, back to Rafinha. Manchester United can't get on the ball at the moment. We've got 90 seconds of the 90 minutes of the second leg remaining. Bayern Munich in possession, 3-1 in front and looking to kill the game here, looking to suffocate Manchester United's chances. Boateng, former Manchester City player of course, looks up, no challenge, lays it off to Kroos. Carrick now is making an effort, but it's easy. Kroos just turns and rolls it all the way back to Neuer, and no one runs in to put pressure on him, so he just stands there and says fine, clock is in our favour. Eventually the German goalkeeper clears it away, looking for Mandzukic, who's looking for a free kick himself, went down, having gripped the arms of Evra. Good decision for the referee to say play on. Throw in for Manchester United. We're into the last minute.
Well, it's game over. I think it's been since that third goal, and maybe even the second one. A lot of heads went down. So, it's been very easy this last 10-12 minutes for Bayern Munich. They're just keeping the ball. They've got time, space, they can do what they want.
It's not been a whitewash, but over the 2 legs we've seen that Bayern Munich are the better team.
Yeah, they are better. Listen, whoever's going to be left in the competition, they're going to have hard games, Bayern Munich, if they want to win this trophy again. It's not going to be easy for them. I still think they're very vulnerable at the back, I've got to say. So if any team can exploit them 2 centre-halves and close them down a little bit in midfield, then you'll have a chance.
David Moyes had that brief respite with the victory over Newcastle at the weekend, but there'll be criticism again, I'm sure, after this, as Kagawa tries an effort in the penalty area and it's blocked away by Boateng anyway. Referee had blown the whistle. Free kick out for Bayern Munich. Do you think, looking back over the 2 ties, Chris, is there anything that Moyes could or should have done differently?
It's easy saying, isn't it? We would all say, look, if you stop the midfield, you win the battle. Or stop the 2 wide men there's 3 minutes of added time to come. You can say you can stop them getting the service out to Ribéry and Robben. That's basically the game plan, and they play off there, and it's all off the cuff from that last third. They do what they have to do to score goals, but I don't think they've done enough on Kroos tonight especially, and I don't think they've stopped the service to... And you've got to think how many times Robben and Ribéry's had the ball, and they've had it basically all evening, and you can't allow these teams to do that.
Just 3 minutes of stoppage time. We're into that now here in Munich. Bayern Munich 3, Manchester United 1 on the night. Patrice Evra, if you're tuned our coverage late, scored a brilliant goal for Manchester United, which put them 1-0 up at that stage, and would have put them, if it had finished like that, they were going through tonight. But boy, did Bayern Munich respond well. And I think probably if there's to be any regret for Manchester United tonight, it's how that they allowed Bayern Munich equalise so quickly. I mean, I didn't get the exact timings, but it must have been like 20-30 seconds, something like that.
Well, it's got to be. They switched off. I mean,
Mark Pugas has just written down for me on a piece of paper, 22 seconds. I mean, that is remarkable to score 6 passes, 22 seconds, and a goal down the other end.
Well, it's something a cliche. You switch off. And they did. They switched up. They were still celebrating the goal by Evra, which was a fantastic goal.
Here comes Ian Robben again. He'd love a 4th tonight for Bayern Munich, but Rooney tackles him. And Wayne Rooney in a deep position tries to play it out, and it's headed by Mandzukic out of play on the far side. Manchester United throw, but the humour of the German fans, they're now singing "Football's Coming Home," as they like to do whenever they play against English opposition. But Pep Guardiola, who has twice beaten Manchester United in Champions League finals with Barcelona, is he about to knock them out tonight? And can he go to win this competition with his new club as well? He's already wrapped up the Bundesliga, did it with 7 games to come, and sure, he's got enormous resources available to him, but what a first season he's having.
The problem he's getting, if he gets a couple more injuries in this Champions League, because you look tonight, he's put Pizarro on, He hasn't really got, Rafinha comes on, take them two, who else do you put on? They are really short. All right, he's got a couple suspended. He'll come back into it.
Schweinsteiger comes back, Andy Martinez.
He'd like to get a few more of his injuries back as well, and then he can really have a challenge, because this team is put tonight. I think whoever they get in the semi-final will give them a game. There'll not be a lot in it.
Well, over the years, I've gone to so many Manchester United games in the Champions League, and it does seem strange to think that they won't be involved in it next season. I mean, they are part of the furniture of this competition, if you like. But on the balance this season, David Moyes' debut campaign, the club have not been good enough to stay in the competition here against Bayern Munich tonight. Not been good enough to finish high enough in the table to get a spot in the top four. There is the final whistle from the Swedish referee, and hands to the heads of Bayern Munich players. Carrick just wipes something from his face, and the Bayern Munich players celebrate. And this season, when they're trying to match the exploits of last year, the big treble, they won 6 trophies in total, Bayern Munich, last season, and it's a similar sort of booty that they're after this time round. They celebrate. They've won convincingly on the night by 3-1. Chris Waddle.
Yeah, I think over the 2 games, you've got to say the best teams won. Man United, I think second half was the best they played in the 2 games. They had a goal, took the lead with a fantastic goal, fantastic strike, but then they switched off, and then Bayern Munich showed the class they've got back into it and run out easy winners at the end.
Well, Mark Bugac, Patrice Evra scored probably one of the goals of this Champions League season. I mean, there's been quite a few crackers, but it was up there, and that's going to be lost in dispatches now, because the headline from here is that Manchester United are out, and David Moyes will not be getting any silverware in his first season in charge of the club. It's finished 3-1 on aggregate, 4-2 on aggregate, 3-1 on the night.
If you're a United fan, give us a call on 0500 909 693. We won't start singing, but when will we see you again in the Champions League? And is David Moyes the right man to bring you back to a table at which you've dined for so many years? 0500 909 693. Ryan Giggs shaking hands with all the Manchester United players. We can say, Chris Waddle.